All right, let's just jump into this. Hello, everybody. Today is a podcast day, very special episode. I'm being featured on Lone Stone Malik's podcast, aka Peak Malik, on his Comatose podcast, which begins at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'm really excited. The only other time I've done this has been on Moose's podcast a year ago, also a lovely member of our community. And so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the podcast chat. I'm really excited for this. In Malik's server here, I hath been summoned. So let's go join this. Let me actually do a BRB because I'm scheduled to go on at 1 Eastern. So I'll do a little quick BRB. And then we'll go from there. I'll be back once I'm officially on. All right. Yo. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing?
Good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, everybody. This is really cool. Appreciate you, Malik. And shout out to the Comatose podcast. It's an honor to be here amongst y'all. Good to see you guys.
You have such a radio
Yes,
voice,
sir.
and I mean that as a compliment. It's so good.
Thank you so much.
I was about to say something like that.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Also, before anything else, I just want to let you guys know I am streaming this on my Twitch. Is that okay with you guys? I know I talked about this with Malik, but just wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
All right.
Yeah, bro, you're good.
It's perfectly
Awesome.
fine with me.
Awesome.
I'm just doing some level checks right now for
Sweet.
everybody. To where not blasting people's ears off, you know.
No, of course.
But yeah, Loon, you want to have a voice for radio, but not a face for radio. That's
Yes.
that's
yeah,
the important.
For sure.
Yeah. So you thought you were like, oh, that was a compliment. It's like, well, yeah, it is. But
Yeah,
if you
just
told
wanted
them
to
you had a face
clarify.
for radio, then
But if you would have
okay.
came in and been like, "Welcome to 105.5, this is Eddie again," I would have been like, "Yeah, that checks out."
the verb.
Well, intro is usually
W40 radio.
all right, you
Before
stupid
you
sexy
radio.
humans, you. It's a work in progress, but that's the one I've been kind of adopting as of late. Been going through that phase a little bit.
Sure.
You're workshopping it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. I'm about to go live. I'm about to go live right freaking now.
Hell yeah,
Get
Peak
this stuff
Malik.
in a second.
Peak Malik is going live.
Streak.
Also, Eddie, I'm gonna knock on your stream so we can share our chats too.
Oh
if you
yeah, of
want to.
course. I'd be happy to.
Hell yeah. Awesome. All right. I am live right now.
Let's
I'm
go.
knocking your thing in a bit, bro.
Yeah, all good.
Yes, sir. Any day now, stream. There you go.
The
There you
stream is
go.
streaming.
Yeah.
Also got my best friend in my chat, Jacob. How's it going, Jacob?
Shout out to Jacob, man.
The man that met the joke at.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for being in attendance.
I love that,
Freaking
like your
bots,
catchphrase
that's
or
crazy.
of the whole thing of I'm in attendance. That's awesome.
Mhm. Everybody stream. I say the same thing.
Hell yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Same here. I go like
Well,
yo.
now I know
My
what's
whole
best,
go-to
though.
is YEO, just to be a little bit different, like stand out. Instead of just YO, I go yo, like YEO.
Eddie. Can
Man,
your
did
favorite?
y'all know he got the term "the realest man breathing" trademarked?
Oh, absolutely.
I showed it.
That's his. No one knows.
Hell yeah, man.
Wait, like genuinely, you got it trademarked?
Yeah,
Yeah, I literally trademarked it.
Wait, really? No shot. That's awesome.
yeah. I'm not joking.
I thought we were just memeing here. That's actually sick. I fucking love that, man.
I really did that.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
It was real.
Okay.
This man actually trademarked his slogan. I love it.
Tis official.
Yeah, Eddie, I sent you the invite. Whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah, there it is. Just click that. Said you added me as a
Jinsei.
favorite. Now I have to
Jinsei,
go.
how does everybody sound in stream?
Also,
Does
hello,
everybody have that
chaotic.
sound level? Can everybody just talk a little bit? Everybody.
Hello.
Blah 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 blah.
Welcome on in, Demi, to my Twitch chat. How are you doing, Demi?
Hi.
Oh, my baby mashed my M&Ms.
Hello.
You sound good in. It sounds good for me in my mix, but
Blah, blah,
Jinsei,
blah,
how does it
Welcome on
sound to
in,
you?
Demi, to my
Does
Twitch
anybody
chat.
go up or down?
Let me know, Jinsei. I'll be throwing this mic.
You know, I noticed
Yo,
that
that
was one of
emote is
my
crazy, dog.
emotes. Most of the emotes I can't use from Witty.
Bro, Woody has the freakiest emotes known to man, bro. I promise you, dog.
Because I'm a fucking gremlin, dude. I can't help it.
There we go. All right, I think we got
It's
shared chat.
gross.
Oh, Woody, are you streaming, bro?
Yes, I'm trying to get it all set up again. I haven't touched this shit in so fucking long. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna go
I'll wait
live
for you.
though.
I'm waiting for
Jinsei
you
might
to
be
share chat with
AFK.
you too.
Let's see.
Just doing some self promo in all the discords. Bro, doing self promo in people's discords, man, I've helped gotten some people to higher follower ranks, bro. It's good. Definitely.
Yay.
make
I'm
sure
doing
to
I'm doing
promote
really
other
good, Demi.
people's
How are
streams,
you?
guys,
We're doing a
'cause
really
you
fun
never know
podcast today.
where that can lead somebody.
We're on Malik's podcast here, and this is really fun. I'm a guest on it.
Everybody.
Shout out to Malik. Go follow Lone Stone Malik if you haven't already. Awesome dude.
Mhm. Life is
Okay,
about
I'm
people,
gonna
man.
go
Always feel that.
live.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and knock on your stream in a bit. Give me a second. No, wrong one. Wrong channel.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. How are you doing though, chat? Thank you, Jacob, for the 85 stream streak. My man, I was at Jacob's house yesterday until like very early, like 3
All right.
4 in the morning, playing video games. Gotta peek.
On GW streak, what's going on? Chaotic Demi, welcome in.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Demi. She's another awesome streamer in my community. Very
Let's
chill.
go.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate everyone tuning in.
Love me some chill streamers, man.
Absolutely, man. There's no better feeling than getting to meet somebody new, like-minded, getting a bond over what you both love most with streaming, and you know,
Exactly.
that's great.
It's my dog Joe Cad, the dope lad.
The man, the
feel
mid,
me?
the Jocadium. Yeah, I was talking to chat right now about how, man, I was up until like 3 in the morning at his house because I've been introducing him to God of War, and we were fighting the Valkyrie Queen in that game. And if you played it, then you'll know that takes a little minute. So I was not leaving his house until we beat that.
Was it an OG or the new ones?
The new one, the 2018 one. It's like an optional boss. And it's like the last of all the optional bosses.
Chaotic, thank you.
Cool. Oh, Malik, you keep that up.
Right.
You have to play Crash 4.
Oh yeah, I got 5 more. I'm already dreading it, but I gotta do it. It's one of those things where it's like I gotta do it, even though I don't want to do it. Like I gotta fight Yuzora on KH3. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
want to, but I know I gotta do it.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Yeah. Okay, so Witty's live, Addie's live, Moon, Raynor, Lima, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
Hell
just
yeah.
like that, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comatose podcast. We are on episode 11, man, 11 whole episodes of this podcast. With me today, I have amazing guests. You know, I'm going to always start off with my co-host with the most, Miss Whitmire Waifu in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody. It's been a fucking fat minute. I think it's been like a month since I've streamed, but hello. I'm here. I'm alive. What's up?
We out here, people,
Just
the
for
internet.
stream. Oh yeah, we have our returning guest, Pastor Limestone.
What's up? How we doing, everybody?
We have Moon Loon, Miss Loon, bitch. I'm trying not to say it that way.
Batch. Hi,
You
Twitter fans.
very close.
Yeah, you almost
You're
hit the hard
edging onto the
eye.
eye.
You better,
Yeah.
be careful. Be careful.
Careful.
I'm trying so hard, bro. We have the king of IRL, Mr. Raynor, in the building.
What's going on, guys?
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then finally, last but not least, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Alliteration Addy again, the double A gamer in the building.
Hello, all right, you stupid, sexy humans, you. Good to see everybody. Happy to be here. Thank you so much once again for having me on.
Of course, man. Of course. And so, how our podcast works is that we introduce all of our new guests, which in this case will be Loon, Raynor, and Addy. So, just down the line, I'm going to ask you guys 2 questions tailored to each and every single one of you. And then after we get done with your individual questions, we'll go into the general questions. So, I know Woody's been excited about this. So, Loon, before we get started, Loon, introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, tell us who you are, and then Woody will ask you your 2 questions.
Okay. I feel sweaty. This is like when you're in school and they're like, "Tell us a thing." Hello, I'm Loon Batch, bitch if I'm being a little feisty or whatever. I stream, I teach dance, I teach yoga, I like to cook, I play D&D, I run D&D, I do audiobooks, I do voice acting, I do too many things and I need to stop. That's me.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Love to hear it.
Woody?
I know. Hold on. I had it all set up and then I had to turn you up, Loon. Okay, I got you. So I'm super excited because also being a dancer, like getting to talk dance with somebody who actually like understands and knows. I'm so
Pickle, thank you so much.
Like pick your brain, but not like
Thank you for the 25
super
months.
detail and annoy the shit out of you.
My man. Shout out to Pickle.
So what was your inspiration as to like why you got into dancing and yoga? Like what was your this is why I'm doing this?
So I've been doing it since I was like 5, and like you don't have that like epiphany moment at that age, as you know, you're not like this is me at 5. But like I would say I actually didn't hit like that stride of like this is what I want to do until after I had like left the studio for like a year. Like I went all the way from like 5 until I left for like a year for college, and then I came back. And then when I did, like I'd already like helped teach a little bit then, but like their original teacher dropped out and she was like, "Hey, would you be able to do this?" And I was like, yeah, sure. So like I stepped in. And then, like, I guess, like, my biggest moment of, like, dang, this is it was at the end of the year, we kind of, like, do, like, little teacher acknowledgement, like, dealios or whatever. And, like, I got my first ever, like, standing ovation. And I was like, oh, like, I like, did something here. So that was crazy. That felt really nice. And it's just, I think my favorite part is I always take like really weird, crazy ideas and like seeing that come to life and then being like, oh, I don't know if people are going to like this. And they go, that was really cool. And then I'm like, oh, like, shit, let's go. But that's those moments.
Heck yes, but okay, so how long you said you started at 5, so you've literally been just kind of on and off for that long. I love that. So, and kind of a follow-up to that, I'm very much a modern dancer. I was never like lyrical or anything like that. What was your kind of what is your niche? What is your dance? Like this is my shit.
I like making hip hop dances a lot with like big groups because you can do some like crazy cool stunts and stuff. And I also like ballet. So what my favorite thing to do actually is to kind of like mash those together in like a weird, like lyrically kind of modern, like just whatever I feel like kind of energy. I don't know if that makes sense. But
I see it in my head, a little dancer in my brain is going across my head right now.
I like to like genre bend like dance stuff, like where it's like, oh, this like typically has this, but like, oh, you hear that hi-hat, like you could hit some like actual like kind of hard moves there and then like soften it back up like when the chorus comes back in or whatever. But it's cool to take those elements and mash them together, I think is my favorite.
Yo, Compulsive, welcome on in.
My answer is
Good
I
to
have
see
no
you.
real answer.
No, I love that because
we're out here on the podcast today.
The only thing that I haven't been like trained in is ballet. Like, did you do point and stuff like that, or was it just
so?
Oh my gosh!
I take tap, jazz, ballet, and point, and then I teach Jazz and hip hop mainly,
Okay.
and then I help teach tap, jazz, and ballet. I would say tap's like my weakest, just
dude,
because make feet
yes.
do tappies is hard sometimes. But that's about it.
Hell yes, my dude. So the place that you've been at now, have you kind of been able to establish a pretty like see the kids kind of grow up from like
it's
these are
gross.
my babies and now like they're 16 and teaching
Yeah.
dance now.
I have a wall of it's my famous wall of seniors where once the seniors graduate, they have to give me a senior picture and then they go on my little wall, and it's grown substantially since I started. I have kids that I taught that like have kids now, which feels disgusting in
God,
a
yeah.
way,
No.
but is
No.
cool. Like some of them have gotten like married.
You're
It's like
old.
that's what I'm
Yes.
oh, my weary dance bones. But yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God, dude. Oh, I love it. I fucking love that. Just
It's
because dance has
awesome.
been such dance is what helped me so much in life. So like hearing someone else talk about like how dance has been.
Yeah,
just,
honestly though,
like, it's a
Pickle, you're
passion,
good,
and
man.
It's something that you have to dedicate.
Because everyone
a lot
has
of time
something
and effort
interesting that
to,
someone else hasn't
and I'm
done.
not
And
saying, like,
podcasts
you
are just a
can't
fun
go
way
out
to
and
like
just dance
chill.
and have fun and stuff. But the
Sure.
level
You
at
know,
which
sit
you're
back, talk about it.
attaining, like, okay, I am teaching dance. I am basically setting these kids up for success. I admire you for that because that's fucking amazing.
you.
I love that shit so much
Yeah.
because I know how much dance meant to me growing up as a kid. So having somebody who is like super passionate about it and willing to put in time and effort into others, like, it's beautiful to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
I love it. So, how have you worked through the mental challenges you have faced? So, kind of like switching gears to another thing. We had to start off like, happy. Let's get it kind of in there to like depression, anxiety, all that
It's
kind
cool,
of
dude.
stuff.
Everyone's so
what is
passionate
something
about stuff. I love
that
it.
You, to have worked through to kind of help with those challenges.
Super interesting.
So, dance is obviously helpful with things like that. Not
Yes.
to loop it back to that, but like this year, I know it got overplayed to hell, but I used Anxiety by Doechii, and it was
That's
like
fair,
straight
Pickle.
up like an homage to like what I
Everyone has an
experienced, like,
outlet
feeling
for dealing
anxiety.
with
So like we had like one
anxiety
I guess
and
character
social
dancer
awkwardness.
who was like the anxiety haver, and everyone
For me,
else
it's
was kinda, like,
absolutely
these gross
streaming.
little anxiety demons. So like it was cool to like take like a feeling and try and translate it into like an art that people could like visualize and kind of go, oh, okay, like I can kind of see that. I've done like another dance like one year where it was like this big, it was kind of like a group therapy session type deal, and I feel like that's also helpful for the dancers, like young or old, too, to kind of like be able to channel those feelings and kind of like release that a little bit. There's also just like physical movement in general, I feel like helps kind of
You were
alleviate
roasted
some of
when you were
that,
playing
like,
Left 4
stress
Dead. That was
getting, like,
fun.
endorphins going and all of that.
You're
But
talking too
throughout
much. No,
my
that's
whole
good,
life,
man.
It's
That helps me. It
depression
prevents
part,
dead air on
obviously,
stream.
like, kind of like it feels like you're constantly like crawling out of a hole to like slide back a little bit, but then you make more progress and then you slide back just a little bit, and then like you get to the top and then you slide back a little bit, because like
I like it when I get to play with people, talk with people who
same with the anxiety, like I
were
used to
talkative on
spiral
stream.
so bad that I'd literally pass out. I have not had that happen in a very long time. I think a lot of that has to do with like finding like more value in myself and the things that I am doing, and just trying to like feign confidence until confidence appears, in a way. So like a fake it till you make it type deal.
That was such drilled in. I've never heard so many dance like all my dance instructors, that was the go-to of like, fake it till you make it. Your costume accidentally falls off. You're just gonna fake it till you make it, because that's just how you have to do it. Yeah, like exactly. No, that's funny that how that's become like a universal, like every dancer or any other sport that uses like coined that phrase. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we all understand what that means.
Yeah, but yeah, just surrounding myself with people that like actually care after a while, and like I said, like you kind of just it takes a long time, but like finding
Yeah, I'm definitely
like,
looking forward to
value in
RE6 someday.
yourself. And like sometimes it takes someone else being like, hey, like you're valuable for you to be like, oh dang, like okay, yeah, like Rainer's in the podcast and he
Yeah, what
is
Malik
my
said in the
partner,
chat,
for anyone who
absolutely.
doesn't know. He's been a
Yes, sir.
wonder for my anxiety, and I know I was worse off way before, but he's been very helpful and understanding when I get to moments like that. And I think it's surrounding yourself with people that like get it, or at least are willing to get it. That'll definitely help pull you out, so you don't have to do it by yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Life is about people.
Yeah, I
Right.
saw you write that in the chat too, and it's so true, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's wonderful, man. Loon, you are such an incredible creature.
Oh my goodness,
It is
thank you.
amazing to hear so much. All of these things that we're learning about you. It's like we just read your whole autobiography just in listening to what you said. And you
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I should have shut up. I'm sorry.
Man, no, I
Oh, it's
love
so
it. No,
interesting.
we love the yapping. Everybody yaps. Include you. You should know me and Woody. We yap, so we love yappers. So just continue to yap. We
We're
love
all
Is that the
certified
sequel to Everybody
yapologists.
Poops?
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
yaps.
everybody apps.
it. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and go to Mr. the King of IRL next. Mr. Ray
Hell
Nor,
yeah.
tell us
What's going
about
on?
yourself and who you are, what you stand for. Tell us about yourself, man. What's up?
Oh man, what I stand for. Okay. Hi, my name is Chris. My favorite color is red. And I played soccer when I was 10 years old, and now I'm 34. Oh man. I thought that joke was gonna go a lot better. Anyway,
I giggled. I was trying not to do it.
I respect it.
yeah, no, it's okay. Man, that's I don't like, even as a kid, I remember hearing that question. It's like, what do I say? Like, it's hard to like summarize yourself in like a phrase or in a sentence, but for me, like I think my like who I am is or how I'm presenting myself or whatever, however you want to say it. Like, I think that's changed a lot in the last couple of years, specifically.
Yeah, my favorite color is red too, compulsive. I go back and forth.
Because before I met her, it was kind of like, I was kind of doing my own thing, trying to get streaming off the ground,
Like
trying
red,
to,
blue, beige.
do something that I really, really love to do, and just focusing on myself. But then once you get into a relationship, it's like, it's not about you anymore, really. Like, yeah, like you're part of the equation, but there's this other person that's part of that. And so, like you put brother, son in there, and then you put
Yeah, Pickle, I remember you're colorblind, right? You have one of those?
into that mix, and it changes like the whole
Father.
dynamic of like who you are, like what you're about, or what your goal is.
He showed me his colorblindness, and it's like
because
seeing Planet Namek from Dragon Ball Z, which is kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Like the right person, and with varying levels of success, not a lot of success, mostly failure. And it kind of ran my life for a long time as like when I was a young person, like 16, 17, 18, when you're getting into the dating world. And then like eventually I got kind of tired of like trying to find like my other half, and just kind of focused on myself. And I thought that was bullshit for the longest time, until I met Brittany, and then it was like, oh, I had to scratch and claw for half of my life to finally like understand why I had to roll through all that stuff.
Damn, you actually remembered what I was playing, Pickle? Respect.
So, to answer your question though, I love wrestling and streaming and video games, and I like to talk, and I'm long-winded.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah,
love
I
it,
mean,
man.
it's really hard to summarize yourself. It's a hard question, and I've always found that to be a hard question to answer. because I've never felt like I know this might sound kind of like melodramatic, but like I've never felt like I fit in any like box. Like I'm a nerd, but like I'm not like a comic book nerd or like an anime nerd, or like I'm just kind of like my thing's wrestling. That's my passion, or the thing that I'm the most into. And like, but then sometimes I don't relate to wrestling fans.
Yeah, good times.
You know what I mean? Like
when I destroyed the jars.
I don't know.
The Jar King destroyed me many times after.
A lot of, I'm not like.
There's consequences.
I feel like I've dipped my toe in a lot of nerddom and like nerdy stuff, but I've never like dove head first into the deep end of anything like my whole life. So like, it's hard to quantify what. I'm just built different, guys. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? I'm built different.
You're the main character.
I'm a different breed. Okay?
WD-40 Radio.
There's the
Freaking
whole-
Radio IRL. IRL on Wednesday. Speaking of
anyway,
which, Mr. Raynor, I have some questions for you. What started your love for wrestling, and how did that transfer into your event called IRL Rect?
Well, so that's another long-winded. I got a long-winded answer for you. So, and I read your questions.
Yeah, everyone's unique at the end of the day, man.
Think of like where did that start? And like, it started when I was like 9 or 10, when I really got into wrestling. Like I remember my favorite wrestler growing up was Sting and Goldberg. Those were like my two guys as a kid. And if you know professional wrestling, then you know who those names are, or you may have heard those names. You might confuse Sting with the Police, the lead singer of the Police.
Yes.
That's one I'm the most familiar with.
Yeah, but Sting was like, he started off as like a surfer character, and then later on, like in the 90s, when like the Crow was super popular, he like adopted the Crow persona, sort of, like, and became like this darker character that was sort of like an Avenger type. Like he was like a vigilante type character. But as a kid, he was like my favorite. And then Goldberg is like this beast, big old like thickum dude that like really just like he had like a huge streak, a undefeated streak for a long time. He had like 187 win streak or something like that back in the 90s. Anyway, yeah. So like that's where I started. And I remember as a kid playing the WCW NWO World Tour N64 game. That was like my like biggest memory of like young wrestling, like when I was really little, like 9 or 10 years old. And then when I got older, I remember for a while like wrestling was like very adult, like it was very it started to get kind of risque. Like late 90s, early 2000s, it was very, college age type of thing. So like kids weren't really like, it wasn't okay to like have an 11-year-old watching like, what was going on at the time. It was very violent and very like sex driven or whatever. And then like in 2004 or 2005, I'm like in my bedroom, like it's late at night, I'm like scrolling through, like back in the day when you had cable and you would like surf the whatever, like change the channels and like watch TV or whatever, and I find wrestling, and I remember the first thing that I saw, and it was a vignette of Triple H and Batista, and they were like feuding. It was like post WrestleMania, and they were like feuding, and I remember Triple H saying something about the pedigree, and the pedigree is his finisher. It's like this double underhook face buster that he does. And I remember hearing, I was like, what's the pedigree? Like, what is that? And I remember just like being enthralled with it. And I was like, oh, that was interesting. And then I don't remember like
Violas, thank you for the follow.
I don't remember
Thank you
like
so
the
much.
next week like ooh like I want to watch that again, like, but it captured me. It like recaptured me. Like I remember I kind of forgot that I even knew what it was before, because it'd been like 5 years or something since I had watched. But then like I'm watching that, and then like I told my buddy at the time, and I was like, oh yeah, like there's this thing called wrestling. It's like WWE Raw. Like it was kind of cool, and like it turned out he watched wrestling, so like
Dude.
so it was like a bonding thing for me.
If we hit 500 followers
and, like,
on this
all of,
stream,
like the friends that I had, we were all into
that'll be
wrestling.
fucking crazy.
Okay, then smash cut to
Yeah, only 2 away.
You know, I've been watching wrestling.
You're
ever
very
since
welcome,
for
of course.
about,
Thank you.
You know,
Appreciate you being here.
25 years ish. And me and my buddies, we would run shows. Like there was a mode in one of the wrestling games called GM mode, general manager mode, where you could like run your own show and you could compete or whatever. Like you would, like your buddy could have a show and I could have a show, and then like you could compete, and like whoever's show like would win or whatever, you know, like win the week or win the year type of thing. And we would run shows. I would get notebooks and I would write down my show, and like I would, if anybody here has even seen like my wrestling shows, like I would do like we would create little mini stories, like stuff that we were watching on TV. We would emulate that, and like so we had our notebooks. I would have like match 1, match 2, match 3, and then like, oh, like after the match so and so attacks the other one. It's like, oh, and then like drama or whatever, and then like we would reenact like the shit talk, like the promos and stuff. So like, you know, I remember being like, you know, oh, Triple H comes out and he starts talking about this, that, or the other, and like then someone comes out and he talks, like, so we would enact the show. And we would both do this, and then, you know, years went by, and eventually I always kind of wanted to do something in streaming or YouTube or something like that. And I always had this idea of like, oh, it'd be cool to do like a wrestling show, like do what I've been doing as a kid and like in college, that kind of stuff, but like put it out there. And then I got into streaming in 2020, and you know, I almost started a wrestling show back in like 2001, but I was not super confident about it. I didn't have the audience for it, and I didn't, you know, I was a small streamer. I had like an average of like 5 people every week type of thing, and so it's like, I don't know if people are into this. Like, this is the gaming world, this isn't wrestling, like who's going to be into this, right? Smash cut to a couple years ago, 2024.
Bruh, compulsive.
And I was like, you know, I went through some issues with my internet where it was like kind of choppy, but I like pushed through and I kept streaming and I kept going and going. And then I got through that, my internet got better, and I'm like, this is it. This is the time. Like, but how can I do it? Like, how could I like introduce this? And I don't really even remember how this came to be, but somebody or I thought of this, or somebody was like, maybe you should make it so like the community are the wrestlers. I was like, that's such a good idea, because it like turns into a community like night, and like people can like be like into it because like they like that's their character, like, oh, and then it's like, well, maybe they'll get into other characters, and that's exactly what's happened. So like all of that like build up to this to my IRL rec show, my show that I do on Friday nights, and it's grown so much in the last 2 years.
That's so sick.
Like a very small roster to start, and then, you know, 1 year went by, and
folks are so interesting.
Thick roster, and this year we have like a solid roster, and I'm really excited for it. But I mean, that's wrestling's my passion. That's the thing that I love the most, and it's been incredible to see the growth and like how many people that aren't even wrestling fans are like into this show, and I every show I'm like just grateful that like there's people that like and I understand, like there's people like, well, it's because your show, like you do a really good job. And it's like, that's really nice, but it's like, I could understand if somebody's like, I'm not into that and I don't even want to be part of it. But there's been so many people that have like gathered around it. It's been a great way to build the community up. And even just the last few months, there's just been like an influx of people that have been interested in it. People that might be lapsed wrestling fans or people that aren't even wrestling fans to begin with. And they're just like, I want to be part of this like thing. And it's crazy how it's grown. And now I'm going to stop talking.
No, listen, I don't know shit about wrestling.
Mode.
I am like, I'm wrapped in the conversation now. I know freaking Stone Cold Steve Austin. And
I relate to that. Like, keep talking, be passionate, right? But then you feel like, oh my god, I'm going on too long.
You can't see me.
Yes.
But it's like, that's fine though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
but
fair.
like, I don't know. That's an interesting, like the fact that you were able to make this work on Twitch and make it grow, like you said, and get people involved. I mean, people
That's so
like me
true.
that have absolutely no idea what is going down, but are still like, hey, I am invested in this now. No, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Heck
And
yes.
it's the thing that I try to draw, like, because wrestling is my passion, I listen to a lot of like podcasts about wrestling or podcasts about like, because pro wrestling is just show business, but it's live. You know what I mean? Like it's a TV show, but it's a live performance every week. So it's a different skill set, but it's similar in that like there's an acting portion, there's like a stunt portion, there's like, you know,
Hey.
in the background.
There you go,
there's a lot
Malik
of,
in
like,
my chat
camera
now.
work and like.
Yeah, shout out to everyone here. This is wonderful. I'm having such a good time, man.
It's the same thing.
Thank you again.
It's just presented as a sport, right? So it's very unique. Wrestling is very unique in that way, and like I could literally talk about wrestling forever. But one of the things that I learned from a lot of the wrestlers, like the you know, the behind the scenes people and also the wrestlers themselves, is that like wrestling is about capturing the audience, bringing them in, like making things relatable. And I think that like I've kind of transferred.
Yes, and thank you. I think I'm following
some of those like things that I've heard.
I think I'm following Raynor here. I hope so.
Even like actors or whatever, like just like little things where it's like that makes sense. Like that makes sense to somehow, like, how can I take that lesson?
That's no, of course.
And I'll like apply
Thank you for being here.
To life, or apply it to what I'm trying to accomplish in streaming.
Thanks to Shouty, of course. I'm glad that worked. Yeah, I set that up recently.
And like it's about making it personal and making it relatable. Like everybody understands an underdog story, or everybody understands the hero's journey. That's what wrestling is. It's about storytelling. It's about like, you know, taking you on the journey. It's not necessarily the destination, but it's the journey. You know, it's Lord of the Rings. It's, you know, The Dark Knight. It's all of these like great, you know, it's The Godfather. You know, and wrestling pulls from Hollywood and those movies. Like I heard a wrestling manager talk about that the story that he was telling was I can't remember what the movie was, but he was pulling from a movie. The whole storyline was pulling from like Apocalypse Now or some kind of movie that he saw, and he's like, oh, we should do that but in wrestling. And you can do that with a million other things in the creative world. You draw inspiration from these things, and it's like, how can we?
Jacob just losing his mind. Dark Knight reference.
So that's kind of what I've
his
done
least favorite movie of all time.
My stream is like
quite the
that
opposite.
Makes sense. This little nugget of info that makes sense. How can I transfer it into a streaming world where it makes sense? You know. So
yes.
Yeah.
Break it down to like a molecular level and
yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Pick your own
wrestling.
Absolutely,
box, dude.
Yeah.
Also, somebody said The Dark Knight mentioned, and I watched The Dark Knight this morning.
Yep, that's my best friend Jacob in the chat.
Okay, this is
There you go.
This is perfect.
There you go.
Great movie.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff, I feel like a lot of like things that you like, you know, like if somebody has like a life lesson or like this is, I learned this thing about, and then like you hear them talk about it and you're like, okay, but how can I like reverse engineer that? Or how can I apply that to me? You know what I mean? And like, like Malik was kind of saying, like life is about people, and it doesn't even have to be about people that are in your own world. Like it can be someone that you just hear, you know, an inspirational thing, or like, you know, they tell a story and you're like, that's crazy, and then it inspires you to do something. And I try to do that with streaming and with life.
That's so
in
true, man.
general.
Like
When I
being
hear
inspired is
somebody
so
say some
important.
stuff, you know, about mental health or you know, health in general, you know, like workouts or whatever, it's like, okay, how can I apply that? Or that's an interesting thing, I never thought of that. Or just like that kind of stuff, and you just apply it. So
Yeah. That's beautiful, man.
I've rambled.
Beautiful.
No, you
Thank you.
Gucci.
Yeah.
No, listen,
You have-
I'm all
It's
about
completely fine.
because I'll just get to talking and it's just gonna go and it's just gonna be word vomit and it's not gonna make any sense by the end of it, but it's just gonna keep going.
Also, I love listening to all this because it's so interesting, and I love seeing that you guys are so impassioned about this stuff. So if you keep rambling, I'll keep listening, and that makes me happy. So
Okay.
you know,
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep talking. I can do it. Yeah.
We got one more question for you too, Raynor.
Uh-oh.
How did you and Moon Loon meet?
Astral,
man.
welcome back.
We've met through
Things are amazing around
Twitch.
here.
We met
I'm on a
through
podcast
Twitch.
episode. Shout out to
I've-
Malik.
I tracked it back to, I don't know, it was like a networking thing. It was like I rated somebody. It was through if
One of my
anybody knows like Shadow Revenant, like that group.
One of my top 5 favorite movies,
of
NF,
people, like
is the Batman
or-
from 2022.
Anyway,
It's
we-
so
we
good
met
with Robert
through-
Pattinson.
It was kind of like I rated somebody, and then I rated this other person, then that person rated me, and then eventually I think Loon rated over to a streamer named Lady Teddy, and then like I followed her, or I don't remember like all the little details, but
Followed you 'cause your
eventually,
emotes
like,
were cool.
I remember Loon said that, yeah, she liked my emotes, and so I was like, okay, cool. And then, you know, I started hanging out in her stuff. I think she was playing a game that I wasn't like super interested in. But I know you were playing like Baldur's Gate, and you were playing Mario, but you might have been playing Darkest Dungeon. I don't remember what game, but anyway, she just seemed like a pretty cool person. And then like we started, you know, I would start hanging out in her stuff. She would start hanging out in like my stuff, and it kind of just jumped off from there. And like, I remember this was a couple years ago at this point. Like we started talking and started collaborating, and like, oh man, like this chick's cool. Like,
As Malik's message in the Twitch chat, best dating app, true.
You know, I was single at the time, and I was like, man, like this girl, like it would be kind of cool to like be with her or whatever. And then I found out that she was with someone. I was like, damn, like, okay, that's cool. But then I was like, I accepted it. But the more that we hung out, like I started to feel feelings. And I remember very specifically, like I was doing some yard work or something, and we were talking, and at this point, like me and her were like, we would play every Thursday. We would like hang out and play. I kind of forgot about this until I just started talking, but on Thursdays we would hang out.
Yo,
and play video games, 'cause that
Teo,
was, like, the time.
Mateo.
And it would be like,
Oh, come on in.
it wouldn't be on stream. It was like our own little time, because like,
How are
she
you
was
doing,
fun
man?
to hang around, you know. And I could really start, like, every time I got off.
Yes,
of
sir. Podcast
VC
day.
or whatever. Like,
Some
it was
wonderful
like,
folks. It's been really fun.
damn, dude, like I really like this girl. And like,
Shout out to Malik for having me on his podcast.
so then I was doing yard work, and I remember I was doing yard work, or like or I was like going for a walk, because I was struggling with that, because there was so many times in my life where I would get infatuated with someone who was unavailable, and then I would set myself up for failure, basically. Which, it's kind of like, it's like,
Made a
this
big
person
decision
would
for
be
today.
really
Hey
cool
man,
to
let's
be
go.
with or whatever, and then it was like, yeah, but they're like a long ways away, or they're with someone, or they're this or that or the other.
Also, Taya, when's your birthday?
And it's like,
When's your
man,
birthday?
and I would always,
It's not today, right?
like, I could just feel myself like getting back into that pattern. I was like, and I remember
Tomorrow, right, dude?
because
Happy
I
early
didn't wanna,
birthday.
like, tell her that I
We got some
liked
awesome
her.
shit planned.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm 32 years old, and I'm like, I like her. Like,
No, never admit that.
Yeah. Well, and you don't want to admit it, especially when it's like, I know that you've got a relationship.
Yes.
And I don't want to fuck with that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm not gonna. So like, I remember going for a walk, and I was like, dude, I just need to like distance myself. I just need to distance myself. And I knew, and at this point, it should be noted
Gonna
that
do a
at
stream
this
before
point, I
midnight
knew that,
hits. Oh
like,
hell yeah, dude!
they
I'll be
were,
there.
like, her relationship was like kind of like struggling, but I didn't want to like take advantage of that. So I was like,
Absolutely, guys. Thank you everyone for coming through and wishing him a happy birthday.
I got, like, really short with her. I remember, not short, but like curt. Like, I would kind of like, she would like send, because we were sending like long blobs, big long novels, messages, big long.
How's
Discord
podcast so far?
messages.
It's really wholesome, man. I love it.
I started getting,
So Malik, shout out once again.
sending, like, shorter
We're
ones,
on his
so I was
Comatose
like, I need to,
podcast,
like, distance myself.
and he gets a group of
But I
folks
didn't
together
know
from the community,
best way to do it, and
ask some
I didn't-
questions, and we talk about our backgrounds.
I wasn't confident
we just
enough to be
vibe.
like, hey,
This really easy,
I
laid-back
need to,
environment.
like, distance myself.
It's been really
from
nice
you,
hearing the
because
stories so far and how passionate folks are about what they love.
Know that you like them.
Exactly.
How do you say that?
And then
I
it just
like
comes
you, and I need to.
across.
It's like, what? Like, it was weird. So then I got really weird on her, like, from her perspective. I got weird and short, and it was like, she's like, are you okay and stuff? And I like played it off for a while.
Malik hath returned.
Like, there was just something about her that eventually I just opened up. Like, because at that point, this was months into like our friendship, and I was just, I basically just like poured my heart out, basically. And then she reciprocated, and I was like, what? I was
like, hold on,
huh?
Been real quiet. He's the
And,
realest man
like,
breathing. He breathes quietly.
And then just kind of went from there, dude. Like, then like
He breathes in a real
like
way,
I
which
said,
is
like,
quiet.
her current relationship.
Loud
like,
breathing's
they
not
weren't-
normal.
They were like not. They were like barely on speaking terms at that point. But again, like, I wasn't trying to be the guy to be like, ooh, this is my shot, like, or whatever. Like, I wasn't trying to be that guy. So like, I was like, like, I didn't. And when you're like in a relationship, or when you're like and it's struggling, you're struggling. Your emotions are high, and like the grass is always greener type of situation. You know what I mean? And so, like, I recognize that.
Shooting your shot sometimes
I
gets you
wasn't gonna be
caught.
that guy,
It's
like,
crazy.
Sneak in and fucking, I can. This is my shot. Like, this is my window of opportunity. So I just, I was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy. But then it just worked out. And what's funny about this kind of is that I didn't actually say, like, I like you and I can't, like, I feel myself doing this, that, or the other. Like, there was a little bit of that, but I didn't say it in that way. I was kind of like, I think I said something to the effect of, and this is on Discord, so
Yep,
it's
Michael
all
Scott, not Michael Jordan.
documented. I could go back and look, but I basically said something to the effect of, like, yeah, evidence, yeah. I basically said something to the effect of, like, every time that we, like, every time we hang out, or like every time that, like, you say certain things, like, I get a warm feeling. And I said something to that effect. And then she took that as like, oh, he's saying that he likes me. And so somehow, like, I wasn't even trying to be like, I like you and I want to be in a relationship with you. It was like, I'm feeling feelings. And then she's like, I'm feeling feelings. And then it was like, okay, what do we do with that? And then it was kind of like, okay, here we are. And I don't know, it kind of butted into what it is now, which I mean, it, you know, several months later, you know, we kind of like, I was weird, and like I didn't want to like tell her I loved her until like I met her in person, because
That's really nice that it all worked out.
I have a weird relationship with the word love. Like a lot of people, I kind of saw, like, throughout my life, I heard that word a lot, you know, and I like, people would say like, oh my god, I love you, and oh, I love you so much, and it's like, you need, like, my sister was this way, where she would like, oh my god, I love you, and it's like, you've known that person for a month, how do you love them? Like, I have a weird relationship with that word, and this is not like an indictment on anybody. Like, if you want to use, like, I don't care if you use that word, like, you know, like flippantly, or not flippantly, but like just kind of all over the place or whatever. Like, if you feel that, then say it. But like, for me, love is us. Like, I kind of view like my group of my circle. I have like it's like a tier list almost. Like, I have my best friends whom I love.
A tier list. I love that.
Family whom I love. My mom, my dad, my sister. You know, I have 2 buddies.
Podcast seems really fun and cool. It is, yeah. It's really chill, man. I love that.
Someone who I love, and then I have Loon, who I.
What is love? Lady, don't hurt
Anybody
me.
else, it's like, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like, you're great, and you're fantastic. But I wouldn't say that I love you, because I don't know you that way. So like, that word to me is very special. And like, I remember like my first girlfriend, she told me she loved me. And then after that happened, it all fell apart. And so that's like, I always kind of had that feeling with love, the word love. But after that,
I haven't thought of that song in a long time.
Oh, I'm
it's a
not
good
using
song.
that word unless I really mean it. Like, it's deep down. It's like guttural almost. You know what I mean? Yes, like, it's something that
the instrumentals are so cheesy, man.
Like, I would take a bullet for you. I would push you
great.
out of a moving train and take it type of love.
Yeah, we're all raving, man. You'll love to see it.
So that's and
the love is in the air.
like I said,
in the
I
chat.
don't want to like yuck anybody's yum. If they want to use love as like a catch-all for like, I appreciate you or whatever, that's cool. But for me, it's such a special
Rave chat.
word. And so
we raving out here.
I knew that I loved her like a couple months in, but I didn't want. I was so worried about saying it and the right time that it was silly. But it kind of worked out the way. Like, eventually, I was just like, listen. Oh, I remember why I told her I loved her, because like one of my buddies told me a story about how like his 57-year-old uncle just like dropped dead one day. Like, he was healthy, he was good.
Jesus.
He just like dropped dead. And when I heard that story, I was like, bro, if something happens to one of us, I want it to be out there. And so I remember like and that was on a Sunday, so like,
it's a mashup with the Post Malone song. It works really well. Damn, I'll have to get that a lesson.
I can't remember what it was, but it was like
listen.
a Monday night. I remember I was like, I need to tell you now. Like, I can't hold it in anymore. Like, I heard this story and I just can't not tell you this. And so then I told her I loved her, and she told me that she loved me back.
Yeah, that's cool.
And, I don't know, like that was the moment that like we knew each other. We knew, but it was just tough to like, for me, I guess, to like get it out there, I guess, just because I was like, I know I have these feelings, but I was so worried about like the timing, and like, is this silly? But it did create a fun like little thing. Like, I remember instead of saying we loved each other, we would say like, I appreciate you, I care about you. Like, we did like this whole like little thing where I was like, I appreciate Carrie. Basically, yeah, it's like, I appreciate you, I care about you, I can't wait to see you type of thing. And it was like, that was our version of love, like that, you know, that was our version of telling each other we loved each other. I didn't, because I'm not gonna, that's a little, the
Awesome.
ending is a little, you know, a little much.
Funny.
Okay, well,
That boy said, I can't wait to get to school each day. And with you to pass my way.
Listen to that voice, dog.
That's right.
Bells start to ring.
Okay, Michael Weekend, we get it, man. You can say, dude, I freaking love your voice. I just wanted to say that to you, voice to voice, Malik.
I appreciate you.
This man is a legendary singer right here.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that's the story. And then we've just, you know, now we're at a point now where tomorrow she's going to be going to look at houses. And
shut your mouth. That's so
Yeah.
exciting.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, bro.
I
Mhm.
Hell
love
yeah.
that for you too.
Amazing.
Yeah. And yeah. So it's exciting. It you know,
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, it's exciting, and it's, the process has been both very rewarding and very frustrating in terms of just because of the long distance nature of everything. It's just like been very push and pull, and I think that like there was a lot, like both me and Loon have both had our moments where it's like we're both struggling. You know, she'll be struggling with it, and then I'll be struggling with it. But like, we're so open. Our relationship is so open.
Ooh, yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Telling each other how we feel
Woohoo.
about things, and I think that that's helped a lot. I think the long distance relationships
That never gets old.
are tough, but it's forced us to not rely on the physical part of a relationship.
Good old Charles White.
And basically lean completely on communication and like talking and getting to know each other. And that, I think, in the long term is going to be awesome. It's built the foundation for a really strong relationship.
Voice chatter.
Yeah.
What you guys
And
do
also thinking like you guys started off with a friendship. It wasn't we're trying to force this beforehand. It's like, no, we genuinely like being around each other. We like hanging out. And like you said, it's not just the physical side. It's more so like this person is just my person and I really enjoy and I like I can be vulnerable around them and not feel like a fucking weirdo. Like that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and yeah, like it's interesting. Like, there's stuff that I've told Brittany that I've never told anybody. Like things that we had like the "what's your deepest darkest secret" type shit. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like, and it's like I had this intrusive thought. And it felt bad. And it's like, oh, you had that crazy shitty intrusive thought.
It's Brittany.
Here's mine. And then it's like, okay, well, you have blackmail now on each other in case, you know, things go, or whatever. You know, I'm just kidding.
God damn.
Like it's the type of thing that I've never had. I've never had this type of intimate like relationship emotionally with somebody ever. Where I'm so comfortable with you that I'll tell you like weird intrusive thoughts I had, and that freaked me out. And then it's like, oh shit, man, like that's love. I feel like there came a point where it was like I love you unconditionally, type of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's when you know.
Damn.
Like real love.
That's the blueprint.
Yeah.
Actual.
But yeah, I was about to say, love is an action, bro. Like anybody can say I love you, but it's harder to show it, and it's even harder. To show
Welcome on in, Albe.
Someone, like, when it's
That's
easy for them to
podcast
walk
day.
away than it is.
So the treats are error 4-4ing.
You know if someone really loves you or not, And that's my definition of
Exactly.
love for real, bro. I don't just say I love anybody without showing it to anybody. If I love you, I'm gonna show you in my actions, and my actions are gonna be very, very strong
Right.
when it comes to that. So I get you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
good stuff, man. Raynor, you are another epic dude, man. You guys need to write autobiography, individual and
Oh.
relationship wise, because you both
Actual.
amazing creatures.
Don't forget to send us signed
So
copies.
it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah.
And just
I
like
love it,
one
man. I
thing,
love hearing both of you guys talk. Go ahead.
I just wanna like maybe stream of consciousness a little bit, but like one thing that's like kind of been a theme that I've heard from like outside like certain podcasts, and like my sister was talking about this one relationship that like one of her friends was having. It's like these people that like, you know, they have like 12 breakups, you know, and then they're like on their 13th breakup or whatever. Like, I just can't imagine doing something like that. And I don't know if anybody here has experienced that, where it's like you're off and again, on and off again, like relationships where it's like, I don't understand that. And like what you were saying, Malik, like made me think about that. Like,
I know
what
that
is
guy.
that? Like, love is an action, and like
Let's go,
if you're
W
not,
emote
like,
spam. I
fully
love it.
committed to something, like
Thank you guys
you're
so
just,
much for
like,
being here.
kinda
Seriously.
waffling, and it's like, why don't you just like break it up, dude? Like, why are you doing this dance? Like, does anybody?
guy from Fortnite.
Anybody, like, open
I actually
the
look
floor
like a
little bit on
Fortnite
this, 'cause, like,
skin.
I've
I'm
never
not gonna
experienced
lie.
that myself, but I've heard it over and over again. Like, what is that?
Did you guys buy my
People don't
Fortnite
like being
skin?
alone. People can't.
Oh my god, we're
be
talking about
alone.
love?
People can't
Yeah.
be by themselves.
That will be
they
a
need to
W
be in a
pickup line. If
relationship to
any
feel better
ladies are
about
interested,
themselves, because they're
alright?
too
There's your
scared
W pickup
to
line.
tackle their own
I would buy your
insecurities.
Fortnite
That's really
skin.
what it is.
Yeah, like fear.
Are you
of
a
not
skin
being
in
that thing
Fortnite?
you
'Cause I
feel
would buy that.
comfortable in,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
probably,
kinda
or,
weird,
like,
actually.
Mhm.
I was gonna say comfortability. Comfortability is a big thing of just being like, why would I restart when there is something that I know is sometimes good? It's not
Yeah.
good for me, but there's still that little dopamine hit that we all kind of crave.
I'll buy your
of,
skin. Yeah, we're gonna
This is
have to rebrand
something
that, actually.
toxic
Re-release that
I
album.
enjoy, and I kind of like thriving in the toxicity.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I can't
I
do
guess-
that. I like my peace too much.
Yeah, staying busy keeps you from facing yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
I
too old
just-
for that shit.
I guess, yeah, man. Like,
for that shit.
I always felt like
Based.
when I would hear stories like that, I would be like, man, like, do I want a
Pickup line would be
relationship?
more
Do I even wanna,
still
like,
be more
get
successful
into
than
that? Like,
Concord. Good one.
and there would just be times where it's like, maybe being single is the way to go, dude. Like, and I totally got that idea, not for like the sexual nature of it, but like just the like, I have total freedom and I don't have like this other person that's like throwing me around and like messing with my brain, you know.
Yeah, if you're
Like,
actually genuinely,
I just-
unironically using a pickup
I always
line,
thought, my thought
quit while you're
process with
ahead.
That was always like, I would much rather be single than be dealing with that on again, off again stuff. Like, it sounds miserable. Even like, I'd rather be lonely. Like, loneliness sucks, and I lived
Oh, yeah, behind,
lonely
sorry.
for a long time.
because there ain't no universe where you're going to be
And
ahead.
You can ask
with that.
Loon, like, there's been times where it's like, I've had my moments where it's like, I'm so used to being lonely that it's like, I that's why I appreciate her even more, is that like, I found this person that's like perfect for me. Like, and it makes me appreciate her more because of how lonely I was for so long.
I fucking love to hear that,
Deep, man.
dude. Well, that makes me happy on both you guys'
shit.
ends, that you guys absolutely found somebody that you're both just comfortable existing
Mhm.
with and taking on this shitty ass world with. Like, that's
Mm,
fantastic.
yeah. Yeah.
That's deep, boy. I like that. Thank you so much, Raynor, for answering and just giving us a
Hell yeah.
freaking autobiography in the audio sense. It's awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
pretty much.
I like that.
Love it.
Can I just say
It's
one more
awesome, bro.
thing, and then I'm gonna shut up because Addie's been sitting there waiting.
No, you're good, man.
Like the one, I just want to put like the one life lesson that I learned from meeting Loon and finding the one, the person, like my soulmate, the person that I want to be with forever, is that when I was in the loneliness, when I was being single, I'm sure there's probably somebody listening to this that's single and struggling in the dating world. And there's issues with the dating world at the moment, but there's always going to be issues there. But the one thing that I learned is that once you find that person, everything else will like
Hell
come
yeah,
into
compulsive
focus.
W
And
message.
that was like the eye opener. Like I said earlier about how like when I met Loon, it was like, oh, it was a light bulb. It was a oh shit. Like that's why I dealt with all the bullshit, was to find this.
Yeah, it's always
person.
nice to hear
And like
Yes.
stories
I know
like
a lot
this.
of people don't believe that like things happen.
Because even if you know it might not be what you're going through,
you know,
if it makes you feel happy, right? When you're happy for others,
everybody has a course or everybody has a path.
you're happy in general, and being happy in general is the best thing there is.
You can believe in that fact that your struggles don't mean nothing. Like eventually you'll find like your purpose. And like in a relationship, if you're looking for a relationship, like you will find
very
that
sweet,
person, and when you do, it's doable. It's possible.
I'm taking mental notes here because
like end it with like a positive, like even if you're struggling with that, you'll find that person, and there will be an aha moment where you're like, oh, okay, that's the person. And
see, I'm on a totally different planet from all this stuff, right? Relationships, love.
It happened to me.
So it's interesting to hear all of this.
You too. So I just want to put that positivity out there. And I'm done talking. I'm muting now.
Mr. Raynor,
Greatly appreciate it, man. That was lovely.
For Mr. Raynor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. And last but not least, Mr. Alliteration Addy, the AA gamer.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Addy, again, it is finally your time to shine, man. Are you ready?
My man, of course.
All right. Go ahead and tell us about yourself. Introduce yourselves. Let us know who you are, man.
Absolutely. I'm a 27-year-old human being from the planet Earth who's loved playing video games for almost as long as I've been a human being. But
Nice.
yeah, that's the short of it. But yeah, no, once again, it's lovely to be here. Thank you again so much for inviting me to the podcast. And before I go on, I got to say that the whole alliteration Addy thing, I got to give Malik another shout out for that, because that's his nickname that he came up with, and I'm going to be real, that's inspired me to do the same thing with everybody else now. Like literally as soon as you coined alliteration Addy, because my whole thing with Addy again is I'm just weirdly obsessed with alliterating things. Like my previous username was Irritable Indian, now it's Addy again, ever since I rebranded back in November. Malik was like, yeah, that's alliteration Addy right there, because that's what you love doing. And I'm like, dude, this is incredible. So everyone has been coming through my chat ever since then. I've been just coming up with nicknames. Recently we had someone in the community, King Toady, and I'm like, McToady, because we were talking about McGriddles and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Malik isn't here right now, but oh man, shout out to Malik for that in spirit. But no, I have been streaming for the past 7 years. I've been around streaming on Twitch, mostly video games, just classic playthroughs, trying to build a community around the stuff that I love, meeting people who are into the same things that I am. That's my favorite thing in the world. And before that, I was studying game design for 4 years in college. And then before that, I was in school. And before that, I was not in school. And before that, I was basically born. So that's my story going backwards. But yeah, always lovely to meet new folks like I am today. And it was lovely hearing Loon and Raynor's story. That was incredible. I just love seeing people who are as passionate about the things that they are into as much as I am, and learning about those new things, just to hearing them talking about it, right? Like dancing, wrestling, these are things that I've just never really known a whole lot about before in my life. And like Malik was saying, you know, you guys need to write, you don't even need to write autobiographies. Those were autobiographies right there. I mean, you guys did a wonderful job introducing yourselves, and it was all so interesting. So yeah, I'm all about this stuff, just bonding over stuff that, you know, we're all passionate about, that we want to grow communities around. Like in my Twitch bio, it basically says I just want to, you know, build maximum hype for things, and, you know, the greatest community the world has ever seen. So and I feel like through stuff like this, we're working towards that, and that's just lovely. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Hell yeah. Love to freaking hear it, man. Appreciate you for introducing yourself. We're gonna go ahead and go into your 2 questions. Witty, go ahead and ask them. Witty.
She be
Error 404. That's all good.
sneak away.
Yeah, she's probably gone. I got it. I'll go ahead and ask questions. So, why did you choose game design as your major, and what did you learn?
So yeah, I studied game design between 2018 and 2022. Actually, it started in 2017, but it was a slightly different program, and I didn't fare too well with it, so I transferred over to another one, and then went from 2018 to 2022. So the reason I decided to go for that, I've, like I said, loved gaming for as long as I can remember. I attribute that to my older brother, by almost 10 years. He's 8 to 9 years older than I am. So I got to grow up just watching him playing video games, like all this classic 90s stuff from the early 2000s, and then so on and so forth. And I developed my own passion for video games as a result of that. And growing up, man, ever since I was like that kid in school who I did not have a lot of friends. I did have some, but I kind of lived in the middle of nowhere with my family. So when I would go home, I would want to have other people coming over to my house to play, hang out like most other kids, but their parents were concerned about sending them there because, they just had no idea where we lived. And like when we would tell them the address, they'd be like, is that even on planet Earth? So I didn't have a lot of like that experience of going out and socializing with others, because and I didn't really get to do that online either with gaming. So I didn't have that Gen Z kid growing up experience with Call of Duty and whatnot, playing in those online multiplayer lobbies, which maybe that's a good thing considering what those were like. But I would grow up playing a lot of offline single player stuff and just immersing myself in these wonderful game worlds and stuff. I told Malik about this a couple weeks ago on his stream, but one of my earliest gaming memories was with Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls game, and that game just showed me what worlds are capable of being. And I cannot, like, I remember one of my earliest gaming memories was in 2006 with my older brother when we first got that game and an Xbox. And I remember in that game you're trying to escape the jail at the start, and I'm like, oh, so when you escape the jail, that's the end of the game, right? But no, when he left the jail, there was this big sprawling lush grassland, and then he opened the map and I was like, wait, so holy shit, this is possible? Like that was my introduction to 3D open world games. So ever since then I was like, this is my favorite medium, this is beautiful, I want to get lost in this, immersed in this. So I would always play, I would just come home after school all the time and just play video games and lie to my mom that I finished my homework and actually do that like in bed with the lights are off with a little like flashlight. It's like going to bed. That's when I would actually doing my homework and stuff. And then but the thought of making games never actually crossed my mind until much later, like literally when I was about to graduate high school, like the last or second to last year of high school. I never really considered it as a serious option because it didn't occur to me. It somehow always went under my radar just how easy it is to make games, or how easy it had gotten and how increasingly easy it was getting. I didn't know about things like, oh, you can just install a game maker, or Unity is available to everybody, and the sky's really the limit for a lot of things. So I started tinkering around with that stuff towards the end of high school, and I was like, you know what? I want to kind of like completely shift my focus because I really didn't know what I wanted. There was somebody who visited us, like a family friend, and he was staying with us, and he talked about how, he was going to do pharmacology, medicine, that kind of stuff. And I was like, that sounds interesting. So you know what? I'm going to do that too. For some reason, I got that in my head when I was in middle school. And so I started working towards that. I did biology, chemistry, all that. And those were interesting, but if you're going to be the one person in a classroom, I'll put it this way, who doesn't want to dissect a frog in biology, that line of work probably isn't for you. Like, you probably don't want to do anything in the sciences, so like it felt so weird when I was like in grade 11, I think it was, or no, grade 9, we had to, inevitably in every biology class you dissect a frog, right? So that's what we had to do. And I was like, oh, there are probably going to be a couple other people who aren't okay with this. And I was the only one who wasn't okay with it. So I had to do my own little project in the corner that they prepared separately. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go into all this sciencey stuff. So let's think about shifting gears. And that's when I started seriously considering video game development, which is around the time when I was also finding all this stuff like Game Maker, Unity. So yeah, I eventually changed all my courses, got all the requirements, and went to one program. Didn't enjoy it much because it was very programming intensive, and I liked more of the design and art side of it, even though I'm not an artist either by any means. I love video game conception, like level design and stuff. So I wanted to study more of that kind of thing, and I was kind of miserable the first year with all the programming stuff we were doing. It was too difficult. I'm Indian, right? But I'm not a smart, computer savvy, number savvy Indian. Like that, I'm making my ancestors not so proud with all that. So
Damn, bro.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go do the other stuff now with game design. And I did that 4 years. It was fun. I loved the group projects we did. One of my favorite memories was when we got to watch this movie, and we had a list of movies to choose from, and we had to do a video game adaptation of that movie. And we watched The Thing, which is one of my favorite horror films, and we got to make a video game version of that, and that kind of jump started my love for because my role was purely what I wanted to do with game development. I worked on the levels, the outlines, how you progress through it, where the enemies are, the AI, all of that kind of stuff. So we made that. That was incredibly fun. And I worked on a couple other projects too. And before that, even after I was in between programs, I was working with a group of people from my first program and the other school I was going to make stuff with them, and that was really fun as well. So I really enjoyed that side of game development, working on levels and the level design stuff. The thing is though, and why I kind of stopped being interested in video game design shortly after I graduated, within the next 1 to 2 years. I was really passionate about it. The thing I was kind of not seriously considering was the changing landscape of the industry. A lot of y'all have probably heard about all the issues right now with game design and how the creatives just don't have as much freedom as they used to, and all that kind of stuff, right? So I did a couple of interviews after I graduated, and I just I did 5 to 6 of them, and the thing I saw in common between all these interviews was that my responsibilities did not include any of the stuff that I was aspiring towards. They didn't really include any of the things I really wanted to do, what I was passionate about. The kind of nail in the coffin for me, and I've talked about this before in my streams as well, it was kind of sad. I felt kind of depressed. The one position I was looking forward to the most, that actually would have had me working on making game levels and stuff like that, was for a mobile game company. The lady interviewing me was like, "Are you okay picking up your boss's laundry on these days?" And I was like, literally, this is what she asked me, and that just rubbed me so incredibly wrong. And I was kind of like, okay, I guess. I didn't really know how to even answer that question. So I kind of left it at that, and I was very jaded with the whole thing. And around this time, I was still streaming. I actually started streaming in 2019, halfway through the program, thanks to a very close friend of mine who I met through this game design program, who some of you guys may know in the community, Tuesday Point, also a great streamer, content creator. He got me to start streaming in 2019. I didn't even consider it before. I was just excited for the new game Death Stranding to come out then. And I was like, you know what? I can't wait to play this. He's like, why don't you stream it? Because he had worked with streamers before. This is before he started streaming as well. He's like, you might really enjoy it. And then the rest is history. I did that one stream of it, and I was like, I kind of really love this. And having a platform to not just play the game, but share my thoughts, talk about why I appreciate this stuff, maybe try and get more people into this thing that I'm really enjoying. because my goal with streaming is to just create a positive atmosphere where that can rub off on others and we can all just have a good time around something. So yeah, I was still streaming around the time I graduated and did all these interviews and decided that I'm not really super into this game design stuff anymore. And I decided, at this point, like, I wasn't seriously streaming, but now I'm going to put all my eggs in this basket and see what happens, right? And I had some things here and there off and on outside of streaming that had to do with helping my mom with some stuff and all of that, some family matters with when it comes to work-related things. But for the most part, I wanted to just really go full send into streaming, and I'm still kind of in that zone right now. Over time, I've kind of like scaled back how much I put into streaming and that kind of thing, because as you get older, you have to start considering a lot of other things. Life kind of does life things, and you start to look at, okay, well, what if this doesn't work out? What are some other options? But this is what I've kind of like, as a whole, decided is what I want to spend most of my time doing, because I'm someone who, the thing I enjoy most in the world, it may not be making games anymore and working on those, but it has to do with just being able to share my love for games and talk about games. Like, I used to review games for a long time on my YouTube channel, and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of the whole thing with game design.
Damn.
That's wild to me.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
It's eerie for me because I was also game design. I graduated just a year after you, and your story sounds very
Okay.
similar to mine.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, like the whole industry shifting right when I'm about to graduate. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what do I do? And,
Absolutely,
like,
man.
trying to shift your brain because you have a game design mindset, but how do you apply it to a different part of the world?
Yeah.
It's like, that's
It's
the question we're still figuring out.
it's tough for sure. Like, you want to do something with games, but the way you kind of wanted to do it before, it's not as, I don't want to say as easy, but it's not as viable anymore, right? Because of things that are changing that are kind of beyond your control. Yeah, that's kind of where that's at right now for sure.
Did you ever think about like doing your own thing, like creating like your own little like group of people?
That's a
or
great
anything
question.
Like that?
So I did, and I kind of did briefly. Like, I had a little group that we got together, like I said, after the first program I was in, and we continued working on some stuff. We had a cool name for it too. We did like a little intro animation. It was nothing serious. Like, we called it Enkindled Studios, and we would just make games for ourselves. I think somebody in our group put one of the games up on like an Ishthio, whatever. I kind of forget what it's called. And then Steam he tried to get it up on Steam. And then I kind of like considered continuing that a little bit after I graduated. The second program as well, with some people I knew in that. But I kind of like came to this realization that indie development, like, indie is king, absolutely. Like, that's the best way to kind of get into game development now. If you want to retain all your passion and love for making games and make a go for it and be able to have full creative reign and control over what you're doing, indie is the best way to get into that stuff. But I kind of, like, having done streaming, I kind of came to this realization that your odds of, and this isn't to like discourage anybody, right? But it's something I realized. Your odds of actually making it through indie development are about the same as something like streaming, right? They're two completely different beasts at the end of the day. But if you do any kind of creative pursuit, endeavor, you're kind of working on your own in the dark. Absolutely, you're gonna like meet other people, work with others, to make a go of this thing, but you don't have this like big backing, right? And you don't have this level of guarantee that you would otherwise have with stuff like that. So I kind of decided, you know what, since I kind of have already established so much around the streaming thing, let me focus on that more as opposed to the indie thing, which also a big part of it had to do with the fact that I was just enjoying streaming that much at that point. So yeah, that's kind of like where I was with the whole indie mindset.
Right.
That competition point you made is valid, not just for other indie games, but we're at a point where we're competing for people's attention.
Yeah.
We're competing with YouTube, we're competing with Netflix, TikTok, movies, we're competing with everything from both the present and the past. Like there's some people that will still play the same old games.
For sure.
And
I feel like that number's growing.
Oh yeah, people are getting jaded with this whole game industry stuff.
Yeah, and it's like the thing is, the other thing is, if you're trying to get into indie now and you've never made games, or maybe you've worked on some of your own games before, but now you want to like, you know, make a serious go for it. It now feels like the other indie games you're competing with are AAA games. You know what I mean? Like from your perspective, like if you look at stuff like you know, like Stardew Valley, for example, the biggest household title indie game, arguably.
Right.
That from your perspective looks like some kind of AAA behemoth. Like the competition, like Lima said, is just getting more and more fierce. And again, you know, like this is not to say whatsoever at all that you shouldn't make a go of it. If your heart is in it, do it. Do your best. You know. Like go break some eggs. Absolutely. Keep, as Malik says, keep the creative juices flowing, right? But like for me and where I was at in my life, I came to that, I gave myself a reality check for sure. Because if your heart's not in something, I think that's kind of important to do. Whereas if your heart is in absolutely behind something and you really deeply care about it, then there should be like the ratio of your head being in the clouds to you giving yourself a reality check should be like, you know, 70-30, you know what I mean? You should still be real about it, but you should still keep like keep the dream alive, keep dreaming, keep being Dululu or whatever they say. But that's just kind of my where I'm at with it.
Yeah, being in the creative field in general is just it's a sacrifice, because any creative field is like kind of like a needle in a haystack chance for you to like make it extremely big, because it's all about timing, you know, the niche, the audience, and then how much work you're putting out, because you have to always constantly be in the face of people, marketing and letting people know who you are, because people's attention spans are so short that even if you make some fire, it could go under the radar and not get the proper praise that it needs. So you just have to continue keep making it, and hopefully that one person that will change the trajectory, that has a big influence enough to get people to see it, that'll put you in that spot. But yeah, it's a rough choice, man. It's just, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because I love to create. So even if I was broke for the rest of my life doing this, I'm gonna do it anyways. Like music, like I may never make it as a big musician, but I'm gonna keep making music because I love making music. I did this because I loved it, not because I wanted to make $1 million from it. That's what it's all about. Right.
No, for sure. Your heart absolutely has to be in it, and when it is, you're never gonna leave it, right? You'll always, like, ideally, right? This is the way I view it. Whatever life throws at you, you will always find a way to make time for it. You will always find a way to keep it in your life, right? And that's when you know you're truly passionate about something, and that's something you want to keep around you forever. Like with you, like I'd wager that's the case with you in music, right? Whatever life may throw your way, you're going to find a way to keep at least surrounding yourself with that, with what you love, and you're going to keep that near and dear. And you know, with me, that's streaming, right? Come what may in life, I'm going to find a way, right? And you know, I've talked about this a little bit with Malik before too, and stuff, in Twitch chat, but you know, stuff like the law of attraction and everything. Like I genuinely believe in it, regardless of like what you think the mechanics are behind it. I think the fundamental truth that can't really be denied is just the concept of like, there are things that you will want in life, and there are things that you will absolutely like just need, right? And the things that you need, which I would describe as these things we're talking about that we're passionate about, regardless of like how much you need it, you still need it, right? And as a result of that, you're not going to stop until, you know, you have that. And so that's like at a fundamental level how that works. You're just going to attract what you need, because you're not going to stop until you have it. So that's why, like, these things that you love, they're never really going to go away, right? Maybe, you know, even if you have to take a 3-month break from it, 3 years, whatever, right? You'll always find a way to keep that with you, and keep yourself with it for the rest of your life. So that's kind of how I view that for sure.
Oh, definitely. And this is not something that's, I guess, like similar in the video game, but just kind of relating it to like dance was a huge part of my life, and I had to have knee surgery, and I had to take like 9 months off of doing anything, like being able to move, having to essentially relearn how to walk.
Oh, absolutely.
And so not having that in my life and then coming back to it, the passion was so, I had so much more fire underneath me because it was like, okay, I had this thing and I loved it, and this was my life, and then I got it taken away from me, and then coming back to it, it's kind of like coming back home
Absolutely,
to like a comfy like soup and a fire and all this kind of stuff, and it made me just kind of it made me rekindle my love and my appreciation for all the time and effort I had put into it prior. So that was something that was super, just like, it's a beautiful feeling. It really is. And you realize that you have to, not starting essential or really from square one again, but having to kind of rebuild the muscle memory, rebuild all that kind of stuff. It makes you appreciate all the time and effort you had to put in prior to anything.
200%. And I love that you share that too, because my brother went through the exact same thing a couple of years ago, because his passion is soccer. He loves soccer more than anything, and he tore his ACL playing, and he was just out of it for a long time as a result, recovering, and he had to go through all the physiotherapy and all of that to like be able to like walk normally again, basically. And when he was and his knee has never really been the same. He'll still have days, this is like years ago at this point, but he still has off days where it's extra strenuous, right, on him. So regardless though, for like there was this phase during which he was feeling, you know, on top of the world again, and the first thing he did was, I'm just going back to play soccer. You know, I know it may not be a good idea, this, that, and the other, but you know, world isn't going to keep this from me. And he went back and he loved it, and for a little bit of for a while, right? And now he's kind of out of it again because, you know, life does life stuff. But I'm sure that, you know, there's going to come a time again where he just goes full send back into it in whatever way he can, right? And because that's just, again, it's like a necessity, right? It says it's almost as important as breathing, is what it feels like, right? So everyone, the beautiful thing is everyone has that one thing for themselves, right? And we've all been talking about that today, which I absolutely love, right? For some, it could be dancing, wrestling, music, right? Streaming, whatever it is, like, just, you know, keep that close. And hey, if you can't keep it close, well, guess what? You're going to keep it close anyway. That's just how it works. You know, you're not, that's because that's not going to keep itself from you. So.
Exactly, man. Yeah, you said some real stuff, man. I want to go ahead and dive into your second question
for sure,
you, which is, as a veteran streamer, because for guys, if you guys didn't know, Addy's been streaming for 7 years, still in his 20s, 7 years doing this. How has it been for your evolution?
It's been lovely. There have been ups and downs, but largely ups. The downs are more so things that just happen up here in my head, right? You're at the end of the day, in a lot of ways, you could be your own worst enemy. With stuff like confidence, self-doubt, wondering, you know, is this really going to work out? Like, is this worth, you know, continuing to pursue? But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, the ups are regardless of what I may be going through, I'm always going to be looking forward to the next stream. I'm always going to be looking forward to the next opportunity to connect, to develop these positive relationships with everybody, and not knowing what may happen. But initially, that feeling of not knowing what may happen, that was something that would worry me, right? Because I've always been someone with a lot of social anxiety, and streaming is a purely social hobby. And funnily, streaming, even though it's something purely social and you're putting yourself out there and everything, it's been the only place where I've been able to like actually be me and have an outlet where I feel confident and comfortable, which I don't know how that works, but it just life works in mysterious ways. I think everyone has some kind of outlet where they can be comfortable being themselves and being social, because humans are social animals at the end of the day. So everyone has that, no matter how shy, introverted, socially anxious you may be. We all, at the end of the day, will need to surround ourselves with others. So for me, streaming has been that. But initially, I've always known that, right? But initially, it was harder than it is now because of my social anxiety getting in the way. So before I would hit the go live button, I'll be really nervous, like, oh, what if something goes wrong and there are people watching? Like, what if somebody's just going to tune in who's a troll or say something mean, this, that, and the other? But over time, it gets easier, just like with anything. And I still have days where I worry about that stuff. But now when I think about what could happen, I instead think about stuff like, oh, what if this stream is a big opportunity to like meet somebody new who's just going to, you know, we're going to go on amazing adventures together. And I'll have this thought of the future of, because this has happened to me so many times throughout the years that I've been streaming. And it's the most powerful thought and feeling in the world, it feels like, of, man, that one time I had this small interaction with that person that never would have happened if I wasn't there at that place and that time. And this is one of the most important people I've had the pleasure of meeting in my life. And I wouldn't have met them were it not for that small moment, were it not for me hitting that go live button to run into that opportunity. So this is this is kind of like the perspective I have now towards it, and kind of the trajectory I've gone on over the years. And I love that, man. I love where I am. I love the people I've met. Love you guys. This is just awesome to me. And like a great example of what I'm talking about, Malik here himself, right? For those of you who don't know, the way I met Malik, I used to do YouTube a lot more than I do now. And I used to make guides and stuff like that on games. And this guide I uploaded 3 years ago for Final Fantasy, the first one, Malik came across it recently because he was streaming through that game and he found it helpful and he left me a kind comment, and that really made my day. And so, you know, I wanted to get back, see if he also does content and stuff like that. And sure enough, he does. And I loved what I was seeing. So, you know, I connected with him over that. And so it's those like little things that you do. Maybe it could be a raid to somebody you've never met before at the end of a stream, which that's also happened to me. One of my closest friends I met through streaming, who stopped streaming a while ago, but we had so many amazing memories together in the early 2020s. Ian, I met him through just this random raid I decided to do one day at the end of one of my streams. And that's one of those people, like another great example of someone who I think to myself from time to time, man, if I didn't do that small thing at that small window of time, I never would have gotten all these incredible adventures and made all these amazing memories. So that's my favorite part of streaming. Like at the end of the day, I want to do this to be able to make those memories, and one day in the future look back on all this, you know, for posterity when I'm like 80 years old, and you know, I'll have this archive of these moments physically in front of me, like that I've been able to experience, and I just want to keep that going. So yeah, what was the question again? I forgot what the question even was.
Well, like your evolution. So you've been doing this for like 7 years? Yeah, no, you totally did.
Okay, great.
Like that's wild to think 7, because I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary or affiliate anniversary next month. It's like July 7th or something.
Yeah, congrats in advance.
That's like a crazy concept to me that I've stuck with something for this long and like have actually enjoyed it, because I'm very much, I'll claim it, I'm a hobby hopper. I've played video games my entire life, but something like this is kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'll actually like streaming. And then started it and realized that, okay, yeah, I like to talk, and I like to talk a lot. And sometimes, like, I don't claim to be the best person at playing video games, but I love the connections that I've been able to make with people, because it's like, okay, you guys aren't coming to watch me play games. If you are, you're watching me to get my ass kicked at Elden Ring or something like that. But it's more just the, hey, you guys are here because I like to talk, and I'm open and honest, and I'm gonna say things like it is. And if you're down with that, then we're gonna mesh really well. If not, enjoy the shitty gameplay and quality.
Yeah, of course.
Like that's kind of what it is.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. And no, I completely get that. Like, I'm admittedly the opposite. So I know a lot of people though who are like that, and that's great. Like you want to just try as many different things as possible, right? And that's also so important, because you never really know what you're truly in love with and what you need, right? And what your passion is until you try whatever there is available. That life is always going to be full of opportunities. I'm someone who's admittedly like, I am so averse to change, sometimes to my own detriment. Like, if I could in an ideal world, man, I don't like traveling. I'm a hermit. I love staying in one place, one house, one neighborhood.
Dude, I'm the same.
Yeah, my perfect life is literally doing what I do now, just for like the next 60 years, just walking my dog around around the park.
Who needs
like
change,
coming home,
dude?
you know, like
Same couch.
Yeah,
same
exactly, dog.
fridge. Don't change anything. Don't need it.
Yep. And yeah, and again, like I said, sometimes to my own detriment, because you'll never really know more about yourself until you try more things. But where I'm at right now, I feel like I've kind of hit the jackpot. So I'm cool with it. But for sure, it's also so important to just explore so much. And as you say, like hobby hopping. So I totally get where you're coming from and what you're describing. My brother's, again, like the exact same way. Like he wants to keep trying as many different things and exploring as many different ideas. He doesn't execute on a lot of them, which I think
I wanted to be a like, crocheter and be all these cute little pottery girls and make bread and all that kind of stuff. And then I realized that I am like a rough and tumble. Just it doesn't work for me. I am way too much. I'm a bull in a china closet. Like there ain't nothing. I'm destroying anything and everything in sight. And video games was like the one thing that I just kind of like. I mean, I remember my dad sitting me in front of the Nintendo 64 playing Super Mario and Pokemon Stadium when
absolutely.
I was
That's amazing.
a child. And then from there, he kind of put his passion of video games into like my life, and it's stuck with me ever since. And now it's just I've gotten to the point where the games that I play, I normally or mostly play like FromSoft, any of those kind of games.
Let's go.
I just like getting my shit rocked in games.
Those are my favorite. They're my favorite developers, by the way. I love FromSoft. Soulsborne, like Bloodborne's my second favorite game of all time. I love that. Let's freaking go.
I was just playing Night Rain, and now my PlayStation has decided to do a 5-hour update now. So
hell no.
We're just chilling. But that's kind of like the only hobby I would say that I was like, okay, I stuck with. I've been consistent with playing games my entire life, and this is something that I don't ever get tired of. Like I'm never. There's days where you're like, oh, I really don't want to play a game. Like I'm not really in the mood to sit in front of a computer, set everything up. Like
for sure,
there are days, but a lot of the time it's like, okay, if I'm in a bad mood, good mood, anything like that, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna play games, and it's gonna be fun as shit.
Heck
and I know I'm gonna have a good time regardless of what I'm playing.
Yeah, that's the way to go about it.
Can I piggyback off this real quick? Woody, I have a question for you because I actually kind of am the same way as you are. Do you ever feel like, because I know I feel this a lot, like where you're like, damn, maybe if I just like focused on this one thing, I'd be like really fucking good at it. Or like, I have a problem where like I feel like I'm really decent at a lot of stuff, but I'm not like super good at anything. It's like, oh, maybe if I just focused on content, I could be like super successful on content. Or like maybe if I just danced and cut out everything else, I'd be like the best dancer ever. Or like just
100%.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing, but you want to check it out because you're like, what if I am good at that? But then I like this thing, so I don't want to stop doing this thing. But also, if I focused on like, and then your brain's everywhere.
No, there's like I got like 700 pieces of me spread throughout all different things, and it's like I want to be good at like claim to be the best at one thing, and it's the jack of all trades kind of thing where it's like I can kind of be decent at a little bit of everything, but I am never claiming that I'm gonna be good at something.
Yeah, I completely relate to that. Like I've kind of had that same feeling almost my entire life. Like, and I've struggled with it too growing up. Like I would see folks who were insanely good at one thing, and I look at that as like a superpower. And for me, when I look from the outside in, that was always art. Like I was obsessed with art when I was in school. I was never any good at it, and I was like, but how come they get to be so amazing? And like it seems like they barely put any effort in. They just have that power from birth. They have a superpower. So how do I get that? But it's okay to like, also just absolutely just be okay at everything and not incredible at just one thing, as long as you're having fun, as long as you enjoy the process, going through the motions, and also feeling like you're improving in your own way, because everyone's at their own pace in life. Everyone is, it's not a race. It's never a race. You're just you're racing yourself from yesterday, right? You're trying to just outpace yourself from who you were yesterday and be better than who you were yesterday. So that's what what matters, and that's what I realized eventually. But it took me a long time to realize it, because I had so many insecurities about like, oh man, I wish I was good at that. How come this dude's good at this? He's really good at that video game. Again, video games are my lifeblood, so I would feel it a lot with video games as well. I'd be like, how come you're just so good at doing these 360 no scopes and climbing the ranks to like top 500 Overwatch? Like, you've never even touched a mouse before. Like, that did take me like years. How do I do that? But no, everyone has their own treats. Everyone, you know, has their own magic, and everyone has their own gifts, and it's about you recognizing what those are, and recognizing that at the end of the day, no matter what you may feel about yourself in relation to somebody else, you are unique, and you have something that nobody else has, right? And that's what your gift is. So
yeah. And also, one thing that really kind of helped me is removing timelines from my life, like kind of not setting myself up for like, in 6 months I have to be good at this, and at 5 months I need to be good at this. And once I took that idea of there's timelines, time frames out, that's kind of helped me be a little bit more at peace with, I guess, just enjoying, just living in the moment, just taking it, because I live day by day, minute by minute. I do not plan anything, and that's just how my brain works. I do not have a 5-year plan, 6-year plan. I am in the moment right here, right now. This is what I'm experiencing. And once I did start kind of removing that, okay, in 3 months, if I play this game, I have to be this good. It helped me to not have the setting myself up for failure, and for the self-hatred and self-loathing of being like, oh, I'm terrible because I didn't hit this, goal that I made up for myself that's non-existent, and it's the only, like, it's something that I've set in my brain and no one else knows. Like, it was such a beautiful relief to just be able to wake up and just live and be alive.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, if nothing else, just recognize that you making it through the day is like, that's more than enough. That's what everyone's trying to do at the end of the day.
Yes.
You're good at that. You're good at doing that. Just keep doing that. Like, that's what it's all about.
I've made it 32 years and I'm still alive. So
keep breathing, or as Malik says, be the realest man breathing. Actually, no, don't, because that's only Malik's allowed to be the realest man breathing. Don't steal it.
I'm suing everybody.
I do want to say one thing. Like, I think that's kind of the beauty of content creation. I feel like is that like Witty and Loon and Addy, they're all talking about like, oh man, like I have all these things that I like doing, and like I think one thing that's cool about content in general, as like an umbrella term, is that you can literally incorporate the things that you're passionate about, or like all of the different hobbies that you have, into content creation. Like Loon has done a dance, like I think you've done like you did a yoga stream once. I know you're going to be doing like a dance stream at some point, where you're going to be creating a dance at some point, like on stream. So like, I think that like one thing that like maybe some people don't think about is that like you could literally, like, content doesn't have to be games, or like it can be cooking, or it can be dance, or it can be, you just found the guitar and you want to like play the guitar. So it's like you can turn that into like, hey guys, I'm gonna learn how to play the guitar live. Like, that's a thing you could do if you really wanted to. Or like Malik could do his music stuff, or whatever it is. Like, you could like, and I did it with wrestling in a certain way, but like literally you could turn anything that's like you're interested in and turn it into, hey, I'm making this video about me, my journey to, becoming the guitar player for Led Zeppelin or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, you can do that. You could do that if you really wanted to.
Absolutely.
That's the power of being a variety streamer, is that people come to see you, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, if you're doing some dope stuff on the side, that's a secondary thing, but it's you, your personality, and who you are as a person that they come to see. So anything that you do, like, I don't just do gaming, I do my coloring streams, and people love that. There's a whole
it's incredible
community that just loves to do that, because I get to talk to them more. I'm more stuff to the chat, and they get to see coloring. It's inspired even people like Addy to pick up coloring. Shout out to Alex Skywalker. He's the one who inspired me to get some new color and stuff. He's an artist self. So it's just a bunch of different things that if you really stick with it and really like decide to really make it serious and believe in it, no matter what you do, it could be something glorious and something great, but you got to really believe in it and really fuck with it the way that you want people to fuck with it.
Absolutely, man.
And that's, I think, is an important thing, is like Witty was talking about like streaming and like the games and stuff like that, and like what people are interested in. And I think that like streaming, one thing I learned about, like, I've been doing this for 6 years. I just celebrated 6 years.
Congrats, man.
Playing and doing this thing. And I feel like the biggest thing was always it's networking, and it's building that community, and like people don't care about what game you're playing at the end of the day. Like, I remember earlier on in my streaming career, like, where people, like, I was like, what game would has like the most viewer per, like, you know, how many people are viewing it right now versus the people that have like are following it, like, you know, getting into the numbers early on. And it was like, now where I'm at now, all of that was very silly. And what I should have been focusing on is like, what do I find fun? What's fun for me? What do I want to do? Not what people want to see me do. What do I want to do? Like, yeah, you want to incorporate, like, eventually once you build a community, you want to like incorporate them into that, obviously. Like, you want to say like, hey, what do you guys want to see me do? And like, sometimes, like, as a longer term streamer or whatever, it's been 6 years, but like somebody who's like I want to know what the community wants from me, because I've built the people that are in my community are people that are in my community because they like me. But I also want to know like what they want to see of me sometimes. And like when I get the answer of like, we just want the streamer to have fun, and I'm like, dude, that's not the answer I'm looking
like, for. I'm already there. I'm already having fun. That's like saying,
I'm gonna have fun.
That's like saying I want you to breathe.
What you guys want to see? Yeah, like, here's the options.
You bastard.
Yeah, it's like, here's the options, and they're like, we just want everyone to have fun, and it's like, I know that. But what would you like to see? Like, if gun to your head, like, what do you want to see me do?
Just play what you want to play, man.
For sure. Do a thing where like we'll let people like vote on games that we play, and like take like suggestions and stuff. And I think a lot of people are doing that. I think that that's cool, because also like as like variety people, like you can only do so much variety before you're like, what do I do now? And like I feel like through that, like I've gotten to play like a lot of games that like I would have never touched or even looked at before. And like
I have a similar system. Yeah.
So I think there's like that, and then there's also like going back to like, you need to do stuff that like you enjoy on stream. Like I think there is something to that. There's also things to like having like new experiences, but like if you, at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, no one else is going to enjoy what you are doing. I feel like there's two different audiences that want to see you having fun, and then there's another audience that wants to see you fucking rage. And sometimes those cross over a little
Addy
bit.
would know that from Soft.
Witty, I bet.
I'm very familiar.
I know that I feel like there's also like, you have to come at Twitch with like the levity of being like, okay, there are gonna be people that like enjoy the shitty side of this as well, but you have to like not let that get to you and kind of like play with it a little bit. We're like, yeah, if you're getting frustrated like me, like I'll be like, yeah, no, this is super cool, super fun, like I'm not freaking out. God, I'm not freaking out. And like you just kind of like play with it, like you can't let it like get to you, but like it's fun to like play with the ragey side of it as well.
Definitely.
So like,
you got to play it up.
Community, you can knock out anybody who like was really causing problems, like genuinely, and like are like, I just want to see you suffer, and you're like, okay, get out of here. Like,
no, definitely.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And one thing I thought one thing that brought up something that I learned, Loon. I watched this one video that was talking about like communities, and one of the like nuggets of knowledge that I sort of pulled from it was that you build your own community.
Yes.
Like no one else is doing that.
No,
and
exactly.
If you let people, like, you know, in the early stages of streaming, like you want anybody who's going to come around, like you like, yes, like be in my Discord and talk and like be part of my community and be in my chat and like talk. But at a certain point, you can sort of like, okay, I don't want that energy, whatever that person's bringing. I don't want that. So please don't be here.
Yeah, you go through like a wide, absolutely. You go through like a wide spectrum of behaviors like the longer you stream, and you start to like pick up on what matches my vibe, what weirds me out, what I don't want to see, what I love to see, what I love to surround myself by, and you kind of like you ideally cater your community towards that, and you tailor it around that. So I definitely get that for sure.
And it's important. I think it's important. The community aspect of that is important because you have your longtime people, the people that are, you know, the ride or dies, and then you have the people that like, you know, they come for this game or that game.
Absolutely.
But I think it's important to like, and I didn't think about this before, you know, listening to that one video or watching that video, but it was like, it's important because when you don't curate your community, it harms the community that have been with you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
It creates drama and it creates like, oh, like this is weird. There's weird vibes here now. And like if you can you know, cut the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, as you continue to build your community, like that I think is like a huge piece of the puzzle when it comes to like long-term streaming success.
Most definitely. It's like I always think of this one clip with that this interview clip with that chef Marco Pierre White from like many years ago, when he was like younger, and you know he was like very firm, strict. This is a guy who's known to make Gordon Ramsay cry, and he was being asked about like, oh, there's this one time that you like kicked someone out of your restaurant. Like, what was that about? And he's like, well, think of it this way, right? Your restaurant is your home, right? I treat this place like it's my house. And if I have somebody coming in here and not respecting my home and my family in my home, like I view these people as like family and this, that, or the other, then would I want that person in my home? Then no, like, right? I wouldn't. So I kind of view it the same, like community the same way. I always view it as over time, these are the people who have, exactly, it's like a family, right? And I wouldn't want somebody like disrespecting my family. I wouldn't want drama within the family, right? And anybody who comes with an energy that makes somebody else uncomfortable, who I value deeply, who I've met on this adventure, like I'm not gonna want that person around, you know. So and you definitely pick up, like I said, on what it is you want to surround yourself with, the kind of energy, the behavior, and you got to expand your big fat family that way with that energy. You know, that's kind of how I view it. And I'm someone who, it may look like from the outside I'm a little bit paranoid, but it's just because over the years you run into so many like bots. That's another big problem. There's so many bots now, and it's just getting worse, and this, that, or the other. So I have like all these like little verification things, like, you know, you need your email verified to like chat, and if you want to enter my Discord, you know, there's like a small little Q&A thing so bots don't come in. Because the thing, and even real folks, like what I see happening in a lot of Discords, which is really sad, is there'll be the Discord server and then someone new hops in, and you know, the person who's the head of that server, your streamer friend, whoever it is, they'll be excited that, oh, we got something new, and it turns out that person then goes and friend requests everyone in that server because they know that you guys probably have experience with this. They know the server owner is probably a streamer. They're familiar with all these weird behaviors from like the art grifters and stuff, and so they'll add everyone in the server and, you know, sneak talk to them, like stealth chat with them, like, hey, do you want to check out my portfolio? And it's like always like I worry that that this is going to happen in my community. So I have like a little verification thing with some questions that like, hey, like, why do you want to join this and the other? But if you try and join it and like I've already talked to you in the Twitch chat or something, and I know you're like cool, you guys are awesome, then I'm just like, yeah, ignore the questions. This is just for the bots and the weirdos who I don't know, I've never seen before. And it's like, yeah, I don't know that you want to connect. I think you just want to like sell people something that might not exist. Like just jib people. So yeah, you start to just over time, you want to make things as open as possible, but at the same time, you got to be careful. It's like leaving your front door open, right, to your house. You may not necessarily want to do that. You're kind of going to want some, systems in place that let folks who are cool to invite over to your house come in, but not everybody. So, and it's never easy. It's like an inexact science for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's also important. I was just gonna say that I think it's important to like also note that like people in your community are people, so and they all have their own personalities.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
there's been times they're like you have to give people enough rope to hang themselves with, so to speak. Like it's okay, like sometimes people are going to bicker, or there's going to be like a moment of tension. And I don't think that as the streamer, at least this is my take, is that you shouldn't necessarily like pick a side, or like, oh, like this person's for sure right and you are like the person that was like this instigator or whatever. Like sometimes you're just gonna have people that are having a bad day and they said a thing and they like doubled down, and then it's like, dude, why did you do that? Or hey, like you send a DM and you're like, hey, like just so you know, like that wasn't cool, like but I appreciate you being here, and like let's all like hug, kiss and make up type of thing. I think that's important to do though, because I don't think that you should like necessarily have like it shouldn't be like a zero tolerance thing, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to like little back and forths like that, like recently I had like a thing where like there were a couple people in the chat that were like going back and forth. I was like, hey guys, let's cut it out. And then like I privately messaged both of them, and I didn't handle it very well like live, and so like I like it was very uncomfortable for me too, because
That's
I'm
okay.
Very non-confrontational.
Same.
So like I have to like, okay, fuck, like I fucked this up. Part of it was my fault, part of it was their fault. And I had to just like, hey, listen, this happened. I didn't do this right. Like
for sure. And it's like you're always on the spot. Yeah, you're every second of being on air, you are on the spot. So you're not gonna like, this probably has happened to you guys. It's probably happened to all of you maybe at some point for sure, I'd imagine. But if you're a streamer, at the end of a stream when you're winding down, you're always going to be looking back like, oh, did I say that right? Maybe I could have said that a little bit differently. You're always like, like in retrospect, just wondering what you could have maybe done a little bit differently, and you're kind of like critical of yourself. So it's okay. It's okay to be understanding towards yourself, because you're just always on the spot. Like if we're all human, right? At the end of the day, we would only be able to do like a perfect live stream with like saying everything is with 100% accuracy, only if we were robots, and even then we do things worse than what we are able to put out there as human beings, because humans, that we're messy, we're imperfect, but that's what makes everything beautiful, as long as we're coming from a good place and everything we do and say is in good faith. So, and sometimes even then, we make mistakes, and that's okay. Like, or we may think back and go, maybe we could have said something a little bit differently or handled this better.
Yeah.
But and there are always opportunities, like you said. You do your best. You do what you know is your best in that moment for everybody. So you privately message and work things out. And like, I'm also a firm believer in context, right? It's never black or white. Like, some folks will understandably view things as like, okay, if this set of things happens, and I have to act this way. If that set of things happens, I have to act that way, no matter what it is that's actually going on in the moment, right? But I'm someone who, like, I have a more loose approach to it, where it's like, okay, well, generally speaking, this set of things shouldn't be what I see around here, and this set of things is. And if, for whatever reason, things with the community tap into like a certain side, let's explore why that's happening, what's actually being said, like, instead of jumping to any kind of like rash conclusions or decisions. That is like really important. Like nothing's ever black or white. You should have a set of rules. You should have like standards, but you should also understand that like people aren't robots, right? They're not gonna like, hey, you're not a robot. Nobody is. It's never black or white. You're not gonna like strictly adhere to every single thing that's enforced for the community, and there will be like things that kind of go that don't really follow the rules sometimes, and so on and so forth. But it's up to you to look at the situation and go, like what's actually going on here, right? And instead of jumping to anything rash. And it's really like everything's about that at the end of the day in life. Like nothing's ever like, nuance is super important, context. Nothing's ever black or white. So
yeah, I think that like in that situation that I was talking about, like it would have been easy to be like, oh, you like, because somebody like it, the short version of it is like somebody said something and then like that kind of like peeved off another person, then that person like kind of went back, and that was like kind of like a back and forth, and is like, it would have been easy to be like, oh, this person was like instigating and he was being a piece of shit. But then like once I like personal messaged each of one of them, I learned that like the quote unquote instigator was having a rough time. Like he was going through some stuff, and he just like reacted, right? And like you were saying, like everybody's human, we all make mistakes. I made a mistake in that moment by like not handling it properly on stream, and so I had to go to the other person who like kind of like got like the rough end of it, and I was like, hey man, I'm sorry about that, like I'll talk to him, type of stuff. And then I talked to the other guy, and he's like, dude, I was just I've been going through it and I'm having a rough go. And like, I understood the context. I understood, okay, that makes sense. You had a perspective, and also you're dealing with a bunch of stuff like in real life. Yeah. So like that combination of things would just, you're human. It sets you off. You say something like, for sure. And then you like, okay, like that makes sense. And both guys are still in my community, and like they're amicable and it's cool. So it's like, if you can, because like you're saying, like streaming is like a house. It's like a home, and in a home you have a family, and families bicker sometimes.
Absolutely.
So that happens. It's going to happen. And I just wanted to like say that I think it's important to not only curate, but also like make sure that you're not like you're not alienating people that want to be part of your community, but they made one little mistake, and that's their like, that's their the letter A. You put the letter A on them, and then you just let them like you send them out of the city because they're tainted now. Like, it's
of course.
Like hold on, like maybe they just made a mistake, and like we can work this out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
like
I think it's important to do both.
Exactly. Like I live with my brother, right? And we butt heads, right? We have the typical like sibling rivalry. Not like we're adults, we're fine, but growing up we did, and not too long ago we did as well. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna like pack up my things and leave the house, right? It's like, or ask him to do that, right? We're gonna like work things out and understand that like at the end of the day, we're family, and that like we value the things we love about each other more than anything else, and these things are nothing in comparison. Just a just a Tuesday in another big adventure that's otherwise really grand and beautiful. So like
I hate to be this person. I am going to have to. My sister is here with her children, and I am very anti having children anywhere near social media and stuff like that. I am possibly needing to peace out because they keep coming in the room at this moment. So,
completely understandable.
We're at our 5-minute mark right now. We're at a 5-minute mark, so I figured basically nobody will want a grace period, like 15-minute grace period. So this will be our ending point right here, because we're at 5 minutes before we're at our 2-hour mark. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who came on. Thank you to Moon Loon. Thank you to the King of IRL. Thank you to Alliteration Addy. Of course, you guys are all amazing. You guys can say your goodbyes, your pieces, and everything. But if you need to go ahead and go, just go ahead and go. I'll handle everything else.
Okay, yes, peace out, guys.
Take care, Winnie. Lovely meeting you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
all good. Completely okay.
Life happens.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, bye guys.
But yeah,
Bye. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, you guys can.
Thank you.
You guys can plug your channels. Just say where to find you guys at, and plug it into my chat, or plug it into wherever you plug it in. I'll shut you guys out one more time, but you guys can go ahead and say your goodbyes before we end off.
So
I'll go.
Yeah, well, no. We can go in order of like.
No.
We'll go in order.
Now fight.
There we go.
I'll go. I appreciate you guys letting me come on here and talk about myself mostly at the beginning. Appreciate that. Also, just shout out to everybody who also is here. Addie, it was nice to meet you.
You as well.
Reynard, thank you for being such a lovely partner and talking about me in such a wonderful way. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
I stream variety games. I stream cooking. I stream whatever I feel like. Sometimes I have a YouTube channel where I do like a read through of books that are in like the public domain. I do a bunch of things and stuff and things, and it's fun. And you should come say hi. I can't think of any other thingies to plug on my end, but
you're playing Thaumaturge.
I am playing Thaumaturge right now currently, and I'm testing out a game tonight actually. So if you guys want to check out a game that's not out yet, I'll be playing something like that. That'll be cool.
The codes.
I got the codes. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. My biggest thing for everyone here and everyone listening, because I know I've had a couple of community members in my community lately who've been kind of going through it. I just want everyone to know that you are valued. You have a great effect on someone's life, whether it be big or small. And I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us today. And I'm gonna stop talking now.
Nice.
Wonderful. That was lovely to meet you guys.
Yeah. Me too.
Guess I'll go next.
Go ahead, Addie.
All right. So once again, thank you so much, Malik, Witty. Lovely to meet you, Loon, Rainer, Lima. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is amazing, incredible. I stream on twitch.tv/Addy again. And I announced the days I stream of the week in my Discord and on Twitch itself in the schedule tab every Sunday, because I am past the point of adhering to a strict schedule for the rest of my days, because that never really worked out. I'm like every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday. That just drove me insane a long time ago. But massive respect to the people, the streamers out there who are able to do so. It's not easy. So I announced the days of the week every Sunday in my Discord and on Twitch itself. But I always do go live at 7 Eastern on the days I do stream during the week. And we do a ton of variety. I'm a variety streamer, so I mainly play a lot of single-player, story-driven games. We're currently going through a lot of 90s JRPGs right now, because that's one of my favorite genres. I love games like Final Fantasy VII. It's my favorite game. Chrono Cross, all of that. And otherwise, like, we play what the community has voted for. Like, once a month, we do what we call Wheel Spin Sundays. So you guys have the opportunity to vote for anything you want me to play, and we input those in a spinning wheel, and the wheel decides what game gets picked from the community, and we go break some eggs with that. So that would be my goodbye and good night, and keep on keeping on, as I say. Thank you guys. Or good afternoon, because
I'm Rainer IRL. I stream Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. I'm also a variety streamer. I'm currently playing BioShock on Mondays and Tuesdays. First time ever. And then Skyrim, I'm doing a full playthrough. I've played that game before, but I've not experienced a lot of the game. So like a lot of the DLCs I've never played. Classic. I've never actually done a full playthrough of Skyrim, so we're doing that. And we're doing a bare knuckle build, so I'm doing all fists with a little bit of stealth arching in the middle of it. And then on Fridays, we typically do our wrestling show that Malik mentioned earlier. We talked a lot about wrestling. And right now we're in between seasons. So we finished season 2. Rainer Mania 2 is in the past, and we're moving to the future. And on Fridays right now, we're creating wrestlers, and you can kind of see like the little behind the scenes stuff. But normally, I think maybe August, maybe September, I'll be starting up our wrestling shows on Fridays once again. But right now, we're like taking Fridays and just chilling and talking and creating wrestlers and it's a good time. So that's what I do, and I do something similar to 80 and Loon, where I people can vote on what games I play. I kind of curate a list of RPGs. I love RPGs, so on Wednesdays and Thursdays I do RPGs. On Mondays and Tuesdays I do something else, an FPS, RTSs, survival games, whatever people want to see me play is Monday and Tuesday, and then we dedicate the Wednesday, Thursdays for RPGs because I love me some RPGs. So that's me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't have a stream.
Mama, you got anything?
I don't have a stream, but I can plug my stuff. So you might catch me lurking in somebody's stream.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I've talked to you a bunch before in Malik's stream, and yeah, it's been awesome. In the chat.
He always drops this verse of the day inside my stream.
Heck yeah.
I like to make people laugh when I can.
Hell
it
yeah.
Sometimes works. And then, yeah, like Malik said, I like to do verse of the day because I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus, and I think it's more important that I show the love of Christ rather than preach. So be a living example of what I read and.
Oh yeah.
And
cool, dude.
One day I decide to stream. I'd love to have some open conversations with some people. I'll share my testimony.
Love it,
and
man.
Get some laughs in because there's this one game I like playing that's really difficult. So people might laugh at me, rage. So
also, Melly, hi.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I appreciate you all for coming on. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so much again, Malik. This was really fun.
Thank you, Malik.
Really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
And can't wait for what the rest of the future holds. As I say, it's been lovely connecting, meeting new people. That's what the magic is all about here on this adventure. So, yeah. Take care, everybody.
Absolutely. Hey, is anybody still going to be streaming? Because I can raid into somebody because I'm going to send my people. So, Addy, are you going to continue streaming or are you going to end off?
I'm ending off in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'll probably do a little wrap up and catch up with chat and stuff. But yeah, otherwise I'm going to be signing off here in the next 10 to 15.
Oh, you're good then? Then I'll just go ahead and end off on my end. You guys are more than welcome to leave out the voice chat. If you guys need to, I'll take care of everything else on my end.
Sounds good. All right, keep on keeping on, everybody. Take care. That was really fun. Genuinely. I enjoyed that so much. Also, Melly, oh my god! Ending things off at the bank. Thank you so much for being here, Melly, and for the tier 3. Seriously, as always, jeez. 13-month streak, by the way. From the one and only Malone, as Teo would put it. But everybody, thank you for joining me. This is so lovely, not only getting to be on Malik's podcast here, and connecting with some amazing folks. One of my favorite things, just seeing folks who are so passionate about things the same way that you are and learning about their walks of life and what makes them so interested in what they are, and getting to learn about it all, like dancing, wrestling through Loon and Rainer. That was incredible. I love that. Getting to meet Witty as well. Malik, as usual, the legend, massive shout out. Go follow him if you haven't already. This was awesome. The only other time I did this was last year with Moose, which is also incredibly fun. And I hope to connect more like this, man. I love these podcasts you all are running. I know I've been invited to one by Python as well, and King Kabeeble. Also lovely dudes. But Melly, thanks for tuning in. I joined too late. All good. I appreciate you just being here, and for the frickin' tier 3 as always. Holy crap. It was nice to get to know you a little bit better, dude. You as well, Loon. This was lovely. Hope you have an amazing one, and we will catch you on the flip-flop. I think I have all of you followed, so I can't wait to see your streams and what have you. Compulsive, take care. Abro, have a wonderful one. I know I said good night, but it's actually, this is like earlier than usual that I'm streaming, right? It's only 3 in the afternoon, and we're gonna make it a short one. Just wanted to hop on for this lovely podcast episode of the Comatose podcast. Have a wonderful one, Abro. Very, very cool podcast, right? Just such a chill atmosphere, and very laid back, which is exactly what you would want out of something like this. So yeah, and then my bestest of the besties, Jacob, was here too, which was amazing. I'll definitely be popping in more here in the future. It was a pleasure. Likewise, I can't wait to catch one of your streams, because I haven't yet. I know you rated in, which was super kind of you, by the way, on the last stream that I did towards the end. That really meant a lot. Just to say, guys, thank you so much as a whole for all the support as of late. All this networking I've had going on with you guys, connecting positively, and everyone coming through showing support, generosity as always, following the stream. This is more than what I would anticipate and could ask for. All the support that I've been seeing pouring in the last 1 to 2 weeks. Like, we are almost at 500. We're like 2 followers away from 500, by the way, and I don't know how we got another 25 follows so fast. I still can't wrap my head around it. In the past 2 weeks, because it usually takes a while, and then I gift 10 subs back to the community when we hit a new follower goal. So I'm gonna go broke when I do it next, if it's gonna be anytime soon. I mean, at the rate at which we're going, right? Night for other people. Oh yeah, absolutely. For me though, it's afternoon, which is never the case when I'm streaming. Definitely sorry I read that. Keep on keeping on. That is a threat. The best kind of threat. Don't threaten me with a good time, man. Come on. But yeah, lovely seeing everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to catch you all when I catch you all right? Go ahead and catch this doggo. You know what? I'm going to give you guys a free treat. This treat is for everybody, for Link, because he didn't get one today, because we had some of the redeems turned off. But here you go, little man. This is for everyone. It's for the people of planet Earth and Twitch.tv. Thank you. Go follow all the lovely folks who are on today. Support one another. And keep the good times shining. All right, as I said of the podcast, man, the most beautiful thing about this adventure is getting to meet new folks who love the same stuff that you do. Getting to connect over it all. Getting to share the experience of what you love most with other people, and getting to look back on it all someday in the future for posterity. That's what I look forward to the most every time I go live. So, guys, do something nice for yourselves. I'm going to announce, as I said, the days of the week on Sunday, as usual, in the Discord server and Twitch itself. Likely I'll be back on Tuesday. I'm thinking Tuesday, but I'll let you all know. We're going to do 3 streams a week as usual. Probably not 4, as my dad's been visiting as of late, like most of you all may know. So yeah, stay tuned, take care, and you know what? Let's raid somebody, because we are ending off pretty early. This is a once in a lifetime for me, because I normally don't stream at this hour. It's an acceptable hour of day on the East Coast on a Saturday. So maybe some folks are streaming who I never get to raid. You know what? Let's go raid Signer Games. Is he just starting up? I've known Signer for a little while, but I've never gotten to raid him. Yeah, he literally just started. He's been streaming for 5 minutes. He's playing from Papetura. Haven't heard of that one. Great streamer. He's also Indian like me, by the way, which is very cool. I don't know if he's Indo-Canadian. I kind of get this Canadian vibe from the dude, but regardless, he has great vibes, speaking of those. So let's go raid this lovely fella, shall we? And end out there. All right, folks, until the next one, and massive shoutouts again to Melly for the tier 3. Pickle for the resub as well. Freaking insane, you guys. The support's nuts. Do something amazing for yourselves, and never forget, anything you put your mind to, what you love most in the world, you're gonna need it. And regardless of how much you need it, the fact remains, as I said, you need it. So it's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna come to you. It needs you. Think of it that way, right? There's something for everyone out there, and you can and will grab it and keep it close. And you're gonna be beautiful. You are beautiful. All right? Keep on keeping on, guys.